welcome once again to this special edition of the Fresh Shop. Of course, haven't brought you a new product in a while, but today we are very excited to have a brand new product on the market right here at the Fresh Shop. And of course, it's by Zamania and the African Warrior. Now, this particular product has been creating quite the buzz in the community amongst the men and the women, believe it or not. And we managed to get a call of one of our brand new users of this amazing herbal product, all natural. Okay, this is an all natural product. You will not see blue when you use it. You know, there's a lot of things going on out there, and I can tell you, I've heard men talk about seeing blue. You're not supposed to see blue if you don't have on a blue light. Let's just be honest about it, okay? Which means that you're using chemicals that are going into your blood and are poisoning your eyes. Nonetheless, this is a natural product, and all jokes aside, people are seeing blue. You ain't gonna see brown with this, okay? And it's a really nice size pack. It is a natural herbal remedy for energy, okay? And of course, a lot of people today want that little extra something during the romantic hours that they would like to enhance. And so the African Warrior brings out the best, I might say, in performance as well. So it's not just the same oil, it's not a big chemical. This is from the motherland, and it's been brought to us once again by Zamania. And right now we have a special guest studio, which I must tell you, this young person, this person has decided to keep their identity secret, because this is a very personal and private thing. But the fact that this lady has come forth to want to share this and share the experience with us and with my Fresh TV audience, I believe this product is darn impressive, because not many people are just rushed to want to do this. So we're protecting her identity so that she can walk the street without a whole bunch of people saying, "Hey, I'd like to try it with you." Anyway, we are inside the studio with Aquia, and Aquia basically has found this product. I'm going to ask her, basically, Aquia, why is it so important for you to come forth, share like your experience with the African Warrior?
Well, really, I thought that it was just my personal experience. So I shared it with a friend after having used it, and I found that the product itself, it wasn't just my own personal experience, it was other personal experiences of others as well. So I realized that it wasn't just a one-off, and it wasn't just a gimmick. It was actually something that works. It's tried and true. And so I felt like it was necessary to be able to market the product by sharing my testimony.
Wow. Now, in terms of the product itself, I must say, initially upon purchasing it, was it thought, was it for the purchase to enhance your male partner's experience and your experience, or from a male in gestation? Was that the initial look at it?
Sure. The initial look was specifically for male in gestation. It was to see what the product would do for my mate. But having found the benefits of it, I too am finding beneficial, because obviously you're talking about the bedroom, and you're talking about passion and lovemaking. Then there are some transferable things that happen, and I'm finding that I'm benefiting from the experience as well on many different levels. In the bedroom and even outside bedroom, I have more energy. I'm a little bit more focused when I recognize the day after. There's a noticeable difference in the product, but I have to say that my greatest reward, if not, is in the bedroom.
Well, that's interesting. Now, I must say, you don't have to mention any other products, but have you tried other products before?
Yes, other natural products. Natural products. And I had heard of other persons who had tried medical, chemical-induced products, and nothing worked the way in which we found that this worked.
Wow. Now, what made you decide to try it yourself? Like, because, people just don't go ahead and say, oh, the girls usually don't try these things themselves. The women don't usually try these things, even though there are more and more women working on some type of stimulus. But what made you decide to say, hey, let me take a spoonful of that?
Well, you know, you have our energy levels have increased and decreased. We're busy. So we're busy doing a whole lot of nothing, and busy doing a whole lot of everything. But when you get to the room, it's almost like, well, I don't have the energy to do that, or it actually affects the blood, and so you're not getting a full performance in the bedroom. It's a hit and miss. We found that with this product, there was no hit and miss, that it actually increased the stimuli of the during the erection longer. The size was different.
Wow.
There was a lot of different components that caused us to try it again and again. And it is actually a product that we use daily now, not just for the bedroom. It's actually being used as a herbal supplement.
No, you know, you say something once again very interesting about it, which is you use on a daily basis. Now, I myself, I'll speak from, let's just say I bought a power drink or one of the energy drinks. And even though I've just bought it as an energy drink, it's not necessarily Anaconda or one of those types of drinks, but it's just a drink. And I could say to myself, like, geez, I didn't take it for this, you know, and find myself during the day like, okay, let's just get through the day.
Sure.
You're taking it on a regular basis. Now, does that mean that your stimulation is also at a point where it's just like, okay, where's my husband or where's my wife sort of thing?
No, not at all. The product almost works in various different forms. So during the day when you're not active in the bedroom, it's giving you that performance boost through the day. It's giving you energy. It's giving you endurance to get through the day. But when you are in those positions of intimacy, then the product works on a whole nother level as it relates to be able to stimulate on both sides.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, you're definitely one of those people who, you know, has, you know, felt strong enough that you're gonna help other people. I think one of the things I said, like, you know, you asked me the question, and I said, well, no, but you said that it pretty much. It's saving marriages. It's
saving marriages. I do actually have friends who are using it that had issues, and they're not having the issues anymore. So wow. I've actually become, I guess, of some sorts of supplier.
and more than that, a saver of marriage.
We're going to put divorce, we can put divorce court out of business.
Out of business?
Yeah.
Oh my God, well, we will leave with that. You know, in terms of any final words, in terms of what you want to leave the audience with?
I think, like with anything, try it once and see how you feel about it for yourselves. But I've had a few that have tried it once, twice, and many times over, and they're looking for more.
I will actually this question too. What about the serving sizes? Like, what about the servings, and in terms of even, because I look at this pack right here, and I'm saying, man, this thing look like it lasts a long time. This is a lot.
Yeah, you'll get about 20 servings out of it, because you're only using a spoonful a day. And you're only using when you want the endurance, when you want the added endurance, or if you're going to use it daily, it's going to give you about 20 servings. But if you are using it just for the bedroom, then it'll last you a little bit longer.
Right, because, you know, a lot of times when I did the comparison, especially with these type of products, one peel can cost $15.
Correct. That's the chemical stuff.
Peel can cost $15. And when you think about one peel costing $15, and this right here, basically the price of this is like $55. You guys, you must know you cannot get this type of stimulus package. No pun intended. Stimulus package for $55 when one peel. Trump might want to get a hold of this. They're good. It's no joke, but you know what I mean. Stimulus package. You know, but $55 as opposed to one peel costing $15 and getting 20 cents. If you do the math on that, you're well over $200.
Correct.
So people definitely come in, call the Fresh Shop, call the number that you see on the screen, and come and get your African Worrior. You know, I think if they come up with anything a bit stronger, we have to call it Shaka. My God. Anyway, we'll be back with another great product coming to you soon from the Fresh Shop, from Zamania. Doing it big. I'm telling you, we've got all that we need, and we need this Western medicine and philosophy as much as we guys are dependent on.
That's right.
So come and get our original man African Worrior product. It's a good health product. It's a product that you don't need to, worry about the fact that, you might be, in trouble during the day and your wife's 2-week excursion in Europe. What do you do? So this thing is a really good health product as well to supply you with general health and energy, and as well as the stimulus that some men are looking for and couples are looking for in their lives. So until the next time, from the Fresh Shop, call the number. Out. My whatchamacallit. Good morning, Facebook. Good morning. Anyway, this weekend, let's see if that comes up. There we go. Something's happening. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, this weekend, right? This past weekend. Last week, what was it, Thursday? Some guys try to rob some tourists, and they were sort of like from Bed-Stuy or something like that, like Crown Heights. I don't know who decides to pick on some people from Crown Heights, but somebody better tell them, like, look, do not pick on a tourist from Crown Heights. It just ain't gonna work, okay? Just ask about Brooklyn. Anyway, so so now it turns out that the young men are got intensive care and in critical condition, and eye socket was broken, cheekbone, skull, lungs punctured, blood out the ears, and God wished that no man should fall. Even in your wrongdoing, yes, while there is penance to pay, we don't want people to be completely destroyed by it, right? We want them to learn a lesson. Now, that's where it gets tricky, How do you measure the lesson? And a lot of times, I think we want to be able to control how the lessons play it out, but to be honest, it's not as easy as sort of put measure to what the punishment is, right? In your home, that's when you're a child. That's when you actually have the ability to be an adult over a child, be responsible enough, and you think and you know that a child hasn't learned all the things that it needs to learn, so you measure the response. So, i.e., it breaks us while washing the dishes. Well, it could be a bit more careful, but you know what? They don't realize how slippery soap can be and so on and so forth, because they're learning all this, right? Glass slips out of the hand, you break a glass. How many of us haven't broke a glass? Mom's a bit vexed, goes in the fridge. At my time, it used to be the ones from Esso, you usually have the tiger on them. I don't know about you. Don't say nothing, Nina Simone. Don't say nothing. Got the Nina Simone in the house, burning spray in the house right there. Don't say nothing. Those of you who remember those glasses, you used to get glasses with peanut butter in them and everything else. You could come on set. Come on and join us. You're here now. And come on set. My Nina Simone saying, Angela Young. Those of you who don't know, there she is. Anyway, got my Facebook. And of course, she's is that mic okay for you right there?
I don't know.
Let me see. Go ahead.
Hello. Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
You project anyways.
Okay, cool.
Go ahead.
All right. Good morning, all.
Oh, there we go.
There we
Nice,
go.
nice.
There we go.
I just tried that today.
Okay.
Get a little setup for the mic.
Cool.
Anyway, so I'm just talking about the measures of how we would like to play out discipline and then what the consequences are. And this morning on Facebook, somebody said, and it was my DJ Donnie, and he talked about, do we teach consequences in school? And everybody laughed because, it's one of those things where, yeah, I mean, you learn about consequence when you hope you learn about consequence when you grow up.
It's the generation.
Right.
Depends which generation you're born in.
Depends on which generation
Yes.
you're born in.
Because we had the Claudines and the Honoritas.
Oh boy.
And this is Sister Harvey from
Oh,
St.
boy.
Paul's AME Church. Depends which generation you came in.
Wow.
It was
Somebody- Well, that's why the joke, I guess, was even funnier because I guess people don't believe that these guys knew about consequences. And so the measure has become a part of the question. People have gone too far. And I think that people would like to be able to measure what their licks should have been. And it's very interesting because how do you measure what your licks should have been in the context of robbery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know how people want you to be able to measure that, right? In the fact that somebody has invaded your space, touched your personal, right? Not just your body, but your items that you work hard for, right? And then try to run off with it.
Yeah.
It's nighttime. It's dark.
Foreign land.
Foreign land.
That's big.
Right? Foreign land. And somebody, and it's not like let's put it like this. It's not not like Tibetan monk, unused to the fact that somebody could rob you. And it's not like the ships having forewarned. See,
Yeah.
that's another thing. Like, I don't think that people don't believe like, the tourists didn't know that they could possibly get robbed. Look, you might be able to tell that to some tourists from Idaho. They're like, oh, well, Bermuda's just this great old place, honey. Let's just, And they heard, on this shit, the captain concierge tell them, look, be careful. They do have purse snatches and they do have so and so. And they go all about the land la la land, maybe. But you tell that to a black tourist from Brooklyn? I'm sorry.
It's about to pop off. Chi-town. I mean, anything. I mean, hey.
You tell that they could have their antennas up.
Yes.
But they be like, okay,
It's an open invitation.
some things could pop off like this. So let me back into at nighttime or whatever. I'm going into my Brooklyn mud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And these tourists whoop these young boys' backsides.
Yeah.
They really did. And now I've seen on Facebook where they do have some sympathizers. And apparently there are a huge amount of sympathizers as opposed to the people who believe that, their good cocktail was well deserved and the tourist should walk free. Now, while, I've seen the clip, I will not show the clip because I do not really do stuff like that. It's no need to show such carnage, to be quite honest. I mean, these guys walloped
Oh, wow.
these young men. I mean, when I tell you they beat them, they beat them.
I've never seen the video.
You never saw the
I
video.
don't see the video.
And you don't need to see it.
No, I don't need
Honestly,
to see
I
it.
don't pass it along. I don't do that stuff. But I will say this. They bossed the tail, right? And when I tell you but in the end, even one of the boys still said, I ain't going out like this anyway when that boat leaves. you just got a boss tail like that. And you still,
They're brazen.
Yeah. I asked and I said to a young person too, I said, you know what? I said, tell me something. After these guys have taken such a serious beating like that, do you think they'll do it again? And the young person did hesitate and said, yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, they would.
They're just going to do it again, Angela.
Yeah, they would.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Like me, I'm thinking, that's the end of my ganghood days. Look, Lord, thank you for letting me live to see this one. I am never going to snatch a purse or chain again.
But that's what I was
Honest-
saying, Elmore. It's the generation. It's how we were raised. There's some principles that have been lacked off, and people have pulled back. And so what we're seeing is the consequences. We're reaping what we sow, whether we want to admit to it or not. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I guess it is a matter of generation, because I can't see why you would survive a beating like that, and yeah, you're just gonna not change. You're not gonna change.
behavior,
I'm
exactly.
sorry, but
Yeah.
anyway, in my lack of judgment, I will say, I wish these young men that they do find a way to the rightful place in society, and maybe learn from it, man. Learn from it. Don't seek vengeance, and people, and the other thing I will say is this: that in the heat of the moment, and you're in a situation like that, it isn't too many people in Bermuda that hasn't wished to catch the thief in the act. Like, how many of us have had bikes stolen from us and just wish that you caught the person bending over at your bike? Like, it's no shame in that game, to be quite honest. So these guys probably took a whooping for the last 10 or 15 that they probably ripped off. Like, that's what the other thing is. Like,
Well, maybe because people just think it was an extreme whooping.
Yeah, they do.
Maybe it was just maybe a pop should have been enough. Maybe that's what they're thinking.
That's what they're thinking. They're
Yeah.
thinking, like, you measure. That's the whole thing about this conversation, I think, is that people are absolutely putting a measure on how far you should have got a whooping. Like, and I'm saying it's no way that you can measure that. When, if you're messing with these little boys like this, and they're on the ground, they haven't given up your chain. That's one.
Oh.
Right? They won't let go.
Oh.
Right? They didn't get the chain. From what I could tell in this video, they didn't get the chain till later on.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. So they didn't just, look, here's your chain, and
They were going down.
one of them was hurling on. Seems like one of them was hurling to the chain, and then then you stand the risk. I mean, what do you want? Okay, you pop them once, they get up and pull out knife, something else, gun. You don't know what they got on them, right? And they get up, and then next thing you know, you're in the ambulance. They run off, have it go lucky, and you know what everybody's saying? Oh man, too bad. They never even know your name as a tourist.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the truth. So, if you could get them done and make them stay on and on, like,
Yeah.
let's just be honest. Which would you rather? Them get up and seek bloody vengeance on you, as opposed to you sending them so that they don't get up? I mean,
Yeah. Self-defense.
it's self-defense. At the end of the day, you know what? That came on as a record. It came on like, what is self-defense? Well, is self-defense beating somebody into submission? Is self-defense beating somebody into submission? I could probably say yes, because you're in a dark space. People were already attacking you,
Yeah.
already assaulted your body and your personal belongings, and then you make them lay down and stay down. No, wait till the cops get hurt. Ain't no question about if you're gonna wait. I'm saying, it's tough. It's tough, people. But we don't want vigilante. No, we don't want that. But it's this thing called voluntary. It's a social thing. And not dissonance, but it has to do with making a right thinking person be in a wrong frame. Like how good people are being forced into bad things, having to activate a bad attitude. And it's this,
And being
it's
provoked.
Yeah, and it be provoked. So good people are being provoked into these situations that they that they voluntarily do something bad, voluntarily. And it's a situation that we have to look at, because you never know. Just like Carlton and the bartender, just like the club owner. See, a bar owner is forced into bad situation, has to activate, lay down. This is the second one. We're not just looking at, we're looking at a mother who hit a child with a baseball bat, killed him, right? See, remember these good people, regular everyday working people, pulled into these bad situations. You know, it's something to think about, and something that you have to. Gotta be with selection. Honest. She'll show her roots in a second. She'll show her roots. Don't mind the blonde hair. She'll show her roots in a second. The hair's going by about an inch. Going fresh. Anyway.
That's another topic too.
Oh, do you see her?
Transitioning to natural.
Oh my God. Oh. Yes, transition it. Of course. Going natural and going straight. Anyway, so we can get into even more fun. I invited you here for a couple of reasons. One, it was an opportunity to talk about the Brandon Spur. And of course, it was a great, I think, segue for Labor Day and Pump Daddy in as well. But of course, school starts, tomorrow. And
Oh, no, that's the private schools. The public start on the 11th.
Private schools start on the 11th. Oh my God, another week.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, God, have mercy. Christian, I've got you for another week. Good morning now. Good morning, Fresh. So somebody says good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Of course. And anyway, back in, of course, work rallies. Team up to clean up. Oh, what a hook.
What a hook.
That's that advertising side of you, that marketing coming in. And now, tell us a bit about, the
journey
to Clifton. Like what was the impetus behind this? Because let's just say that the PLP didn't win this election.
Yes.
Would this have been one of those things?
Squashed.
Would you have done it?
I have to be
Would it
honest.
have inspired you?
Yeah.
Would you have been inspired to do it? I mean, let's just be honest here.
Yeah.
If they would have, would you have seen the opportunity? Would you?
Exactly. Well, I have to say this. Labor is the heart of who the PLP is. And work rallies is not politically affiliated. I want to stress that. It's not politically affiliated. However, when you saw what happened with the pathways to status, when you saw what was happening with the jobs, what was happening, and I was a big supporter of America's Cup. When you saw what was happening here, December 2nd, all these things start to, you're like, are they really listening to the people? Does the OBA really have the heart for the people, or is it a certain class of people? And so I think, you felt it in the air. Renee Webb said it great. She was like, whoever you talk to, different stratus of life, you felt it. It was a shift. The people were ready for a shift. So for me, at the work rallies, education just seems to be my thing right now, my focus right now with my kicks and so forth. And so looking at what's happening, and I was voicing my opinions to some of the MPs or soon-to-be MPs at the different work rallies. And I came from prayer boot camp the Saturday after the election, and I just felt in my heart to just post my ventings on Facebook. And so I talked about what I wanted to see. I didn't want to wait 100 days. I wanted to know what was the platform, what was PL's top objectives, particularly for education. What are we going to see differently? And I listed some things happening on, as far as the moral situation, the work to rule, the playground equipment at Victor Scott being an issue, the marshlands, how that's impacting nearby schools, and what's happening, what are they going to do? And so that led to over 100 comments. And somebody said, well, Angela, what are you going to do about it? I was like, yeesh, because we don't like putting that mirror to ourselves. And I said, they're right. They're right. It's okay to, sit on your phone and just, run your mouth and just type things in. But then when the challenge comes, and that's what happened, the challenge came.
Wow. That's where it basically came from.
That's where it came from.
Right, because I guess the impetus would have been sort of like, look, we're recognizing that the PLP is taking over in a time where things are not where they need to be.
Yes.
And we know that financials are a problem. We know that resources are a problem. So therefore, it made it a natural fit, whereas the other guys wouldn't have you wouldn't have felt the same way.
Because they hadn't shown that they cared about the average Bermudian. The average Bermudian is struggling in this country. And our kids You know, education, that has always seemed to be a secondary objective. And that's a shame.
So then you decide and say, okay, we got to put together this.
Well, no, what happened after that was someone had suggested the work rallies. I said, I just put it out there. And that led to another 100 plus comments. And I was like, oh my. I contacted Reverend Tweed. Shout out to Reverend Tweed at St. Paul's. And so I said, I'd like to host a meeting. And then I looked, someone had done some screenshots and sent them to the colonel. He loved the idea. That was like during the week right after they got in. The PLP got in. I requested meetings, and we met on Friday.
Okay.
To discuss it and flesh it out in detail. Yeah.
So basically, it was just before.
Yes.
Okay. As the movement, right? So it was just before it all started to hit.
Right.
Now, how many people show up at this event?
Well, the first meeting was August 1st. We had maybe 25 people.
Okay.
But I knew I had 100 plus follow me on Facebook.
Okay.
So it's like, it's okay. It's okay. Because I
Facebook's
knew.
like that, though.
Yeah, exactly. I knew. Yeah, as I knew people were interested. I knew.
Right.
And funny enough, I also have to say my pastor, Jimmy Denwitty, on the Sunday had preached about getting involved. You know, don't just sit back, but get involved. You to make a difference, chart your own destiny. And he gave the scripture Nehemiah 4:6, and it ends with, the people had in mind to work. And I think that's very critical, because while we were ushering in a new government, I truly believe a new mindset was also ushered in. So now, I mean, you look at the last 5 years politically, Elmore, Bermudian, the electorate, I felt was much asleep. Were allowing things to happen. They weren't questioning things. But these last 5 years, you've noticed that the Bermudian electorate started questioning, started wanting to take things into their own hands, wanted to challenge what was being done. And we hadn't seen that in a while. And so I knew that the work rallies would be a success, because now the content of the people had evolved, which I think is very important. And it's no more of this, it's just my four and no more, but how are we being impacted collectively as a group on this island? And I think when that started to happen, yeah. So work rallies was all about timing and seasonings. The people are ready now.
Well, I think also not just about the people being ready. I think once again there's a sympathy, or the activism on, we must also, you know, in there, maybe not you per se on the conscious level.
Right.
We also had to make sure that we were going to make this government successful.
Yes, yes.
But
I didn't come in.
That would be a part of the sort of push. Like, look, people, we're going to have to be a part of. Yes. Making this whole thing work per se. Maybe even not the government successful, but maybe.
Right. How can I put this? Again, it wasn't political. It was really looking like, okay, we've complaining, we know what's happening, we know there's some things that have been neglected over the past 5 years. Are we going to continue with this cycle? Are we going to get involved and make a difference? Because the government cannot do it all. Okay. And the things that the work rallies are doing, quite frankly, the custodians don't have time to do it as well, neither do the teachers. We're talking about once the custodians do their part as far as waxing the floors and so forth, or if they have works and engineering come in and change the tile from carpet to tile, the teachers then have to come in and dust the walls. They're having to move their desk around. They change classrooms. There's storage rooms that haven't been addressed. There's some basic things that they need to get done. And most times it's the teachers with their family members who are coming in to do that.
Yeah, because, I hadn't, I'm figuring that the classes for that measure, right, are pretty much in shape before they leave school. So what were some of the things that you found are, one, can be an ongoing assistance, and we'll deal with that one first. What's some of the things you found could be an ongoing assistance in the classroom to just work rallies alive, or does it have to be?
I have to take a step back, because the list that I were given from the PTAs, presidents, or the principals and teachers were more big construction items, things that had been outstanding for years. I mean, principals were telling me, Ms. Young, I'm basically recycling my list that I submit every year. I'm just changing the dates because things were not getting done. The number one complaint was that landscaping was never done the first day of school. Overgrown. And we were at, for instance, at Ward Preschool, a little 3-year-old, the grass was past her little waist. She couldn't even walk through it. You know, so you're seeing all that, I'm like, you just think, this is so basic. But this happens every year. So I was excited to see Colonel Birch say the 2-month summer system, maintenance system, is flawed. It is. You got 32 schools. And they will have to be ready in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
That's impossible. Especially when you see other things happening, the broken toilets, the missing ceiling tiles. And I'm just, okay, we're volunteering.
Right.
These are
right.
big construction
I
tickets.
don't-
That's kind of outside of what I had envisioned. I really
Okay.
just thought it was just helping with the classrooms,
Right,
cleaning
right.
cuts for the preschools and so forth. Had no idea that the issues were so much bigger than that.
Wow.
And people have to understand that. Yes, we see the guys painting the exterior walls, but take a walk through the campuses and just see. It's heartbreaking because you're like, this is Bermuda. It's not a third world country.
Right. And that's one thing, well, I must admit, that's one thing I kind of recognize straight off the bat myself,
Yes.
is that there's quite a big limitation to what you're going to be able to accomplish in a
Absolutely.
real sustainable way. You know, yes, the dust and clean and level of moisture and mold that gets on, just mildew that just gets from sitting, right?
Yes.
Where there's no life in it. And how, you know, there's really jobs to be done as opposed to
Yes.
volunteers down there. So
Exactly.
that was the first thing. So
Right.
where did you impact in this work rally, or where are you impacting in this work rally? What are the things you're doing?
I like to think that the work rallies have raised the bar, that we have been able to raise the awareness level of the importance of getting our schools ready for the first day of school. And you see the dialogue is now changing in the sense Colonel Birch, Minister of Public Works, admitted that the system has been flawed. And you now see, you know, the work to rule was ended. I think part of that was thanks to work rallies. People may not want to admit it, but I think there were some things that were raised and the government had to address to satisfy the educators. I believe that. Now that we have, I know it sounds simple, but just having the landscaping done. Last week after we talked about Ward Preschool and see MP Warren Scott go home and get his own lawnmower and come back and cut the grass and 2 other men join him. Like right after that, Parks was out cutting all the grass from Ward up to Somerset, so a lot of the grass being done, the hedges. So I think those, while they are small, but they were major. And so I think I want to just congratulate the work rallies volunteers for lining up, for giving up their time. We've had over 150 hours of people just volunteering nights, weekends. It's amazing. For instance, St. David's Primary School, there was a storage room that had not been addressed, but from Friday night and yesterday afternoon, Arthur picture cam his truck, cleared things out.
I just put that up there.
Yeah.
I just put that up. There it is right there. The picture, right? Good.
And beforehand, Paul Wilmot came to Clearwater. They had washer and dryer, printers, and so forth. That was last week, Saturday. He came and took that stuff to the dump. And I also want to credit Colonel Birch for allowing, because the truckers were saying, look, we'll volunteer our time, but we don't want to have to pay the dumping fees. So that was something where Colonel Birch said, okay, we'll waive the dumping fees so that can happen. That was awesome. So there's definitely been a partnership with the government and the people to help get the schools ready.
Yeah, and I mean, and even, you know, one of the things that even I'm looking at here, with this
PJ,
young man, with this young man right here, even helping and you know, in school, is you know, and I must say, I saw a clip some time ago, and a lot of us could remember too, in basically helping to clean the classroom up.
Yes.
Is this something that, in order to maintain something like this, you know, the children, you know, being a part of, like really keep it in. I think it was in China somewhere.
China, yeah.
Where the children just made sure that their classroom was
The
spick
whole
and
way.
span.
Yes, absolutely.
Spick and
Absolutely.
span. Is there something that you can see that could help these work rallies on a weekend basis as a part of community service or
Yes.
something? Maybe you could put together sort of the teachers. Do you think?
Actually, I see it on a bigger level. You just touched on it, the whole
Okay.
community part of it. I think this next generation coming up needs to understand, because the big thing now is getting your community service hours. And so I've been challenging parents, listen, yes, for safety and health reasons you should be here, but also let's model the behavior we want the next generation to see. Because this generation now is all about the tangible results. And I want them to remember, because my dad raised me on this. Number, he's always called me number. Don't forget the people. Always have a heart for the people. And I think that's something that we've strayed from. Like your kids were out with your wife, Nicole, at Harrington Sound. And I think I had a lady in the neighborhood who had her teen sons who said, I brought my sons to help. And we have whites, blacks, Portuguese. Everyone is just kind of coming in. I think it's important because we don't want this next generation to grow up, they don't have to give back, that they always have to have tangible rewards. Sometimes in life, it's just good to do good things. And that's what I'm trying to also impress. And that's why I tell parents, let's model the behavior we want to see so we don't lose those important values.
Well, and I that's the truth, right? And it in terms of starting it and
Yes.
and then sustaining it.
Yes.
A
Yes.
lot of times things are very difficult to sustain, especially when it comes to volunteerism.
Yeah.
Have you seen the numbers continue to grow, or
Oh, my
have you seen
goodness.
them to pull back?
Oh my goodness, they have increased. Our first one was August 12th at Southampton Preschool. That was a Saturday, and we did a couple of the classrooms. It was supposed to be just the library. We had to do the whole school. And we had 15 volunteers. The following week, we had 76. So we had one rally. Following weekend, we had 3 rallies. Somerset Primary School, Warwick Preschool, and Clearwater. Warwick Preschool and Somerset was phenomenal. They had under 40 people. And we had tons of men that came out. It's phenomenal. Then the following week, we had the same result, but we had 6 rallies. But at this point, the parliamentarians came out. So we had the premier at Elliott. We had, I also forgot to say thanks to MP Ella Rebane was there. The education commissioner Freddie Evans was there. Chris Famous was there. Tanae Farbert was there. So it was awesome. So again, we saw leaders also modeling the behavior we want to see our young people do. Because I'm a strong believer as far as leadership. I need to see that you are doing what you're asking us to do. And they didn't ask, but I love the fact that they got involved and they saw that the movement was taking place and the people were trying to make a difference in a positive way.
Well, when you start dealing with names like that, obviously people say, well, they're just playing politics.
It wasn't
because they get their picture taken and.
No, it wasn't that. It wasn't that. It truly was above the field ops, and I have to give them props, and I appreciate that. I mean, they were right there with everyone else.
Well, I think it's pretty impressive when you go home and get your lawnmower.
Hey.
I gotta give that.
Hello. That was profound to me.
I gotta
And when
give
I
that one.
touched his back,
I gotta
because we had
be-
to take a picture, it was his whole shirt was, this is Lawrence Scott, MP, his shirt was dripping. It was dripping wet. Sane De Silva, for instance, could not be there, but two his branch members, executives, sent a crew down to work preschool.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
And
There
I
you
think,
go.
and I think that's even more important sometimes than seeing MPs themselves, because one, they have a huge burden to carry.
Yes.
They have a lot, because the expectation, that's me being out on doorstep. I recognize what people actually expect of them,
Yes.
and it's huge.
It is
right?
huge.
It's above and beyond what they really should expect of any one person.
Yes.
But nonetheless, right? It's okay. It's okay.
I have
Okay.
another quick comment. My
Sure,
other
sure,
quick
sure.
comment too was the OBA, for instance, kept saying in their tagline, someone mentioned on Facebook yesterday, moving forward. But where were they? They have not been out to work rallies.
To gather that together thing.
Yeah, so I have to question that. I'll be honest. I'm just putting it out there. Somebody raised it, and they were like, Angela, have they been out? And I'll give you the answer right now. No, they have not been out.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. Yuck.
Yeah.
I have to say my yet. Like, yeah.
They may come out now, Elmore, now that they put them on blast. I don't know.
Well, I mean, too late. You know, I mean, it's almost like it's almost too late. I think those of you who just missed that, Angela was just saying how no members of the OBA had come out.
Well, MP Cool Simons came to the first meeting. I invited him.
Came to the meeting.
First to the meeting, right.
Okay.
But none of them have come out to the rallies.
They haven't played politics.
Oh, and also Kim Wilson came out in Somerset Primary School. I don't remember who else I seen.
So basically, the PLP MPs came out.
Yes.
Right. But basically, the
Move Forward.
The Move Forward crew.
Right.
The We Guys, I Got You crew.
Yes.
Give Us Another Shot crew.
Yes. Come together.
Not even
crew.
trying to appease the people and play politics.
Again.
Not even trying.
Again.
Not even the perception that we're all in this together. The whole
Right.
12 of us, 13. The whole 13 of them didn't even try. I
Yeah.
find that a bit. Like,
I know.
to be quite honest. That's
Yeah.
like real sorry.
Yes.
But they would say together and we're
Moving
gonna
forward.
Moving
We're
forward.
moving
We're going to be collaborative and more.
Yes, we
But we're not
understand.
going to work with
and
you
then
like that.
Dudley to say,
We're not
you
gonna
know,
do that.
failed Macmillan voters. We had popular, he said in one of his press
On
conferences.
vacation. All on vacation.
Yes.
No, you know what? I'm going to give you guys the benefit of the doubt. And I'm going to say to all 13 of you, because there's not a lot. You know, there's not a lot in the house. That's
Oh,
only
no,
13 people.
I'm gonna spread it further to the branch members. I'm sorry, Elmore. I'm gonna extend it because I've seen
That's the
branch
Bernard Spur
members
right there, see. Bernard Spur, she ain't even,
who've come out because it's our babies in the public school system.
I think you said it right. Our babies.
babies,
And you
yeah.
know what? How many of them have babies? And how many of them have babies in the public school system?
Yeah.
So, you see, maybe they were at work rallies at the private schools.
But the private schools don't have to have work rallies.
Well, maybe they do it for that unity, see?
Mm.
Maybe. Maybe
Them
they do it
that
for the
know
uni-
it feel it.
Maybe-
You know,
maybe-
them that know
Maybe
it.
they do it for that financial benefit, you see? They
Oh,
come out for
yeah.
that work rally. We're working rally, bring your money. Oh, the only work they do is have to write a check.
Yeah.
But no, I think that's kind of disappointing in a sense.
Kind of,
Yeah,
call it
that's
what it
kinda
is.
disappointing.
It's disappointing
That's
because
kinda-
again, everyone doesn't like the term, but it's true. There are two
Two Bermudas.
Bermudas.
Like it or
Some
not.
may say 7, but yeah, there are.
So how do we keep the sustainable energy now for this work rally during a school year? What does work rallies do now? Because did you achieve your goal in covering all schools that you needed to cover? Did you achieve that goal?
Well, that wasn't really a goal. It was. I mean, I think I came into this thing very naive. I'll be honest with you. And at some points, I felt like I opened Pandora's box because I didn't know it was this bad. I didn't know the need was this critical. I'll be very honest.
Okay.
And so I have reached out to Colonel Birch, and so we'll be talking. He said probably after schools go in to look at next steps, how we can evolve work rallies because. Through work rallies, some things have been exposed, quite frankly, which is why, again, I'm
Okay.
so proud of our group for what we have achieved. And we've done 19, we have 19 schools on our, that's
Okay.
awesome.
You have 19 schools on the schedule, and you covered how many of the 19?
Well, we
Half?
have, no, more than half.
Okay.
So we now have, this is the last week.
Oh.
So we have 4 more schools.
Yeah, 4 more schools. Yeah, 4 more schools.
Yeah,
So 4 more schools to do with the work rallies.
yeah.
And then there's conversations now taking place to sort of say, okay, how sustainable? What's the next steps
Yes.
into progress in this as a regular part of what happens
Yes.
with work rallies?
And I give the example, we went to Saturday to Harrington Sound, for instance, and the teachers, some teachers were there, and they were blown away. They had no idea what was done while, you know, they were on vacation and so forth. And one lady said, my 23 years of being a teacher, we have never, and people have to understand this, it has never been done historically before on this scale,
Yeah.
island-wide. It has never been done before. And I thank God for that.
Yeah,
Because
thanks.
again, it's
And we
again,
thank God for you for that. And all the work rallies.
Oh.
That's the man boast of his works.
Oh my goodness! But you know, for the volunteers, I can't thank them enough. I can't thank them enough. Yeah, I mean, you had people that were alumni, like it's West End Primary School, for instance, the guys off the wall just came out just because they went to school there and they wanted to house. Somerset Primary School, I think of that group particularly, the library was a mess. They changed the carpet to the tile, and all the books were shoved into the computer room. What's over 1,000 books and more? You know, boxes numbered 500, 800, 832.31. I was just like, oh my gosh. And some of the schools don't have librarians. Can you imagine? There's a lot going on we don't know about.
Yeah, I know about the librarian thing, that's sure.
I didn't do that.
I could tell you that right now. Yeah, we know about that. Well, you know, Angela, I mean, it's been incredible. Like I said, I watched this thing sort of like swell up on Facebook, and then to watch it become sort of like this T-shirt thing going on. Got this T-shirt work rallies.
The marketing, you mean, the marketing strategists.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, are they for sale? Did you sell them? Did you?
Okay.
Yes. You know.
Well, you know, branding is my thing, so I just had to do something. So we don't have a budget for it.
Okay.
What I basically said to volunteer, particularly, let me just backtrack. We have action teams assigned to each school. So when a request comes in, so people please know we do not do, because people, where's my school? Start getting competitive. Why isn't my school? A lady came to me last night and said, listen, we're only assisting those schools that have reached out to us and said they needed help. When we get that, we have an action team assigned to the school. And then within that action team, we have a team coordinator. They're the one that makes sure that they have the tasks, people stay on point. We have forms to be completed, waiver forms, media release forms, and so forth. It's very organized that people have to complete. Again, protecting all parties involved. And we do it like that. That's how it's done. So the shirts for me was just, again, the marketing branding strategist in this. And so this shirt here, for instance, I got at Gibbons for $15. International Sports Shops has our logo. They'll put it on for an additional $10. Between $20 and $25, you got a shirt. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Good.
hopefully next year we might be able to have a budget where we have the shirts, and I would like to see them being for sale to go towards scholarships, or you have teachers right now spend at least $1,000 for supplies every summer for school supplies. That's scary. Of their own money just because you know
Right.
you have some of them.
That's what I like to see fixed. To be quite honest, I
Yeah.
like to see teachers stop having to come out of pocket. For,
Yes.
For supplies for.
But I won't expose one school, but this weekend one school had not really looked at their storage. And they had 3 rows of glue and 2 rows of books. And parents said, well, I'm not going to buy my son enough because you'll have all these supplies that they didn't know was in this storage room. It was that junky. It was that cluttered.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
So this organization could make haste or lack of, not this organization, but cleanliness and
Yes.
keeping things in order.
Yes.
Then like you said, you don't know what you got, like, until you really, if it's not in order and you don't see it.
And in their defense, they don't have
They have
time
time,
because
right.
they're now got the social issues. They're having to feed kids.
Right.
Some schools are washing students' clothes. They're getting at the school. Like, who has time for all of that? Plus, you want me to do a
Jeez.
lesson plan?
Mercy.
Wow.
Mercy.
You want me to clean up the storage room? Who has time for that,
Right,
Elmore? So
right,
it's like,
right.
choose your battles.
Right.
You're going to focus on?
Right. So
When you
might
have,
be-
when you have some parents that, I don't know how to be a parent. Wow. So you have to look at what's happened to the extended family. You now have grandmothers at the grocery stores packing groceries. You have young
Mercy.
kids, 8 packing groceries at 10 o'clock at night.
Mercy.
We are in a critical state, and I
Yeah.
think you just have to look at that, take an audit of what really is happening in this country.
So
yeah.
now, so with that, because I got to do
Okay.
this running race.
Oh, right.
I would like to stay here and talk. You're gonna come back because I have so much more stuff to talk to you about. But I want to do the running races more.
Okay,
my
good for you.
audience.
I'm gonna run too. The Spittle Pond. I'm gonna come back. Yeah, I've been inspired.
The Labor
very
Day,
good,
Labor Day
very
thing.
good.
You're coming back for the Labor Day walk?
Maybe.
No, you're not supposed to say that. You're supposed to be encouraging people to come out, Angela.
I'm sorry,
To
I'm
the burning
sorry.
spirit. What are you talking about?
I know, but I'll be
That's
honest.
tired.
I'm tired.
That's tired.
I'm tired.
No, okay, cut that part. She's not promoting my Labor Day march. But no. In terms of, so now I guess you have taken stock. Is there a running list where you're saying, hey, listen, we're going to keep up on stock rooms. We're going to. Is that like? So have you taken this running stock? You were around taking this running stock thing, sort of saying, hey, if we do this, there could be more efficiencies on access to this or that. Do you have that list? And
Yeah.
and now you know. So over the school year, will work rallies be a part of going and checking in?
It may be. Like I said, I'm having this discussion.
Because that's what I think makes sense.
Yeah, I don't want to
Usurp.
Yes, Colonel Birch and Pete Diallo Rabin.
Okay.
I respect the protocol.
Sure.
So it's going to be open for discussion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And again, remember, people are volunteering their time. And so do people want to continue doing that? Because you do have these different groups. You have the PTAs, you have the different groups that can be more engaged. Some are stronger than others, quite frankly. So it's kind of like, okay, how is this going to move forward? Because honestly, I didn't expect all of this in the past 4 weeks. I did not.
Oh, I saw it coming. I saw it coming. So, with you involved,
Oh
no.
my gosh.
I saw it coming because I
Everyone
knew
kept saying that.
once you put your teeth into it, that's it.
Oh
so
my
y'all
gosh.
committed. And in
Yeah.
fact, I see. I'm not gonna say it on there, but I see great things happening for it. So, but you know what? Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was awesome.
For coming in. It's a pleasure. And geez, I did want to talk about the hair. No.
You need to quit.
I did. I wanted to talk about the hair too. I can't talk about
But
the
I
hair
just
right
will
now.
say that
I
has
can't
been
talk about-
a Black Girl Man has been a topic. The transitioning from hair to natural hair, perm hair to natural hair, and how to embrace it with our own daughters. I mean, that's a topic.
I'm serious, and
I want to invite some of them, Rashina, Kristen White. I mean, oh
no,
yeah.
I gotta have you back. You also do Kickstart,
yes, Kick
systems, right? You do that, so we have you in to talk about that. The minute you could get up early enough again, so you're tired like that. When you like getting up early. She's supposed to be in her 7. That's why I'm dashing now because I wanted my whole hour and a half with her.
Hey, I'm sorry.
Anyway, now I'm gotta go. I've got 5 minutes to get ready for my race. But you know what? Thank
Good
you
luck.
very much. Thank you very much for
Thank you.
coming in and sharing with us. And all the people out there with the work rallies, thank you very much on behalf of Bermuda for coming out and being a part of it. Thank you for doing all the schools and continuing their work. And of course, I know I'll have to be out there one weekend. But thank you very much. Enjoy your Labor Day. I'll be back with the Labor Day race. I've got David Bird's speech coming up shortly after, during today as well.
Awesome.
Once I do the race, I have that speech from the Labor Day banquet coming up. And so stay tuned for today. I'll be checking in, and I'll bring the race back, and that's all the stuff. But I'm going to go. And what's the last song you're going to leave them with?
Oh my gosh, I can't think that fast.
Oh my gosh. Oh, which one is it? Which one is it?
It's got to be a Bob Marley.
A Bob Marley?
It's got any Bob Marley. I'll take.
Okay. How about this? Bob Marley.
Now if I get in that zone,
One Love, Bob Marley.
I have to go to Bob.
You have to go to Bob. See, Bob is the fall guy. Oh, man.
Burning Spur, that was, the
Bob
speakers
is-
in the yard.
Bob is the-
That was Kenyatta. Oh, gosh. The BMX bike, going down Roberts Avenue. I'm embarrassed right now. Oh, Brother Kenyatta, that was lovely. Oh, gosh. All the 60s Bob Marley in there.
Bob, this one, we leave you with this one right here. Anyway, this one right
Yeah.
This is one deal. This one's for the Burning Spur. R.I.P. All the Union family, everybody. One time. Work rallies, everybody. Peace. Okay, and welcome once to this special edition of the Fresh Shop. Of course, haven't brought you a new product in a while, but today we are very excited to have a brand new product on the market right here at the Fresh Shop. And of course, it's by Zamania and the African Worrior. Now, this particular product has been creating quite a buzz in the community amongst the men and the women, believe it or not. And we managed to get a call of one of our brand new users of this amazing herbal product, all natural, okay? This is an all natural product. You will not see blue when you use it. There's a lot of things going on out there. And I tell you, I've heard men talk about seeing blue. You're not supposed to see blue if you don't have on a blue light. Let's just be honest about it, okay? Which means that you're using chemicals that are going into your blood and in your eyes. Nonetheless, this is a natural product, and all jokes aside, people are seeing blue. You ain't gonna see brown with this, okay? And it's a really nice size pack. It is a natural herbal remedy for energy, okay? And of course, a lot of people today want that little extra something during the romantic hours that they would like to enhance. And so the African Warrior brings out the best, I might say, in performance as well. So it's not just the same oil, it's not a big chemical. This is from motherland, and it's been brought to us once again by Zamania. And right now we have a special guest in studio, which I must tell you, this young person, this person has decided to, keep the identity secret, because this is a very personal and private thing. But the fact that this lady has come forth to want to share this and share the experience with my Fresh TV audience, I believe this product is darn impressive, because not many people are just rushed to want to do this. So we're protecting her identity so that she could walk the street without a whole bunch of people saying, "Hey, I'd like to try it with you." Anyway, we are inside the studio with Aquia, and Aquia basically has found this product. I'm going to ask her, basically, Aquia, why is it so important for you to come forth and share like your experience with the African Warrior?
Well, really, I thought that it was just my personal experience. So I shared it with a friend after having used it, and I found that the product itself, it wasn't just my own personal experience, it was other personal experiences of others as well. So I realized that it wasn't just a one-off, and it wasn't just a gimmick. It was actually something that works. It's tried and true. And so I felt like it was necessary to be able to market the product by sharing my testimony.
Well, now, in terms of the product itself, I must say, initially upon purchasing it, was it thought, was it for the purchase to enhance your experience or male in gestation? Was that the initial look at it?
Sure. The initial look was specifically for male in gestation. It was to see what the product would do for my mate. But having found the benefits of it, I too am finding beneficial, because obviously you're talking about the bedroom, and you're talking about passion and lovemaking. Then there are some transferable things that happen, and I'm finding that I'm benefiting from the experience as well on many different levels. In the bedroom and even outside of the bedroom, I have more energy. I'm a little bit more focused when I work a day after. There's a noticeable difference in using the product, but I have to say that my greatest reward, if not, is in the bedroom.
Well, that's interesting. Now, I must say, you don't have to mention any other products, but have you tried other products before?
Yes, other natural products. Natural products. And
okay.
I had heard of other persons who had tried medical, chemical-induced products, and nothing worked the way in which we found that this worked.
Wow. Now, what made you decide to try it yourself? Like, because, people just don't go ahead and say, oh, the girls usually don't try these things themselves. The women don't usually try these things, even though there are more and more women working on some type of stimulus. But what made you decide to say, hey, let me take a spoonful of that?
Well, you have our energy levels have increased and decreased. We're busy. So we're busy doing a whole lot of nothing, and busy doing a whole lot of everything. But when you get to the bedroom, it's almost like, well, I don't have the energy to do that, or it actually affects blood, and so you're not getting a full performance in the bedroom. It's a hit and miss. We found that with this product, there was no hit and miss, that it actually increased the stimuli of the during the erection was longer. The size was different.
Wow.
There was a lot of different components that caused us to try it again. And it is actually a product that we use daily now, not just for the bedroom. It's actually being used as a herbal supplement.
No, you say something once again very interesting about it, which is you use on a daily basis. Now, I'll speak from, let's just say I bought a power drink or one of the energy drinks. And even though I've just bought it as an energy drink, it's not necessarily Anaconda or one of those types of drinks, but it's just a drink. And I could say to myself, like, geez, I didn't take for this, you know, and find myself during the day like, okay, let's just get through the day.
Sure.
You're taking it on a regular basis. Now, does that mean that your stimulation is also at a point where it's just like, okay, where's my husband or where's my wife sort of thing?
No, not at all. The product almost works in various different forms. So during the day when you're not active in the bedroom, it's giving you that performance boost through the day. It's giving you energy. It's giving you endurance to get through the day. But when you are in those positions of intimacy, then the product works on a whole nother level as it relates to be able to stimulate on both sides.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, you're definitely one of those people who, you know, has, you know, felt strong enough that you're gonna help other people. I think one of the things I said, like, you know, you know, you had even asked the question, and I said, well, no, but you said that pretty much it's saving marriages. It's
saving marriages. I do actually have friends who are using it that had issues and are not having the issues anymore. So wow. I've actually become, I guess, of some sorts of supplier.
and more than that, a saver of marriage.
We're going to put divorce, we can put divorce court out of business.
Out of business?
Yeah.
Oh my God, well, we will leave with that. You know, in terms of any final words, in terms of what you want to leave the audience with?
I think, like with anything, try it once and see how you feel about it for yourselves. But I've had a few that have tried it once, twice, and many times over, and they're looking for more.
You know, I will ask you this question too. What about the serving sizes? Like, what about the servings, and in terms of even, because I look at this pack right here, and I'm saying, man, this thing look like it lasts a long time. This is a lot.
Yeah, you'll get about 20 servings out of it because you're only using a spoonful a day. And you're only using it really when you want the endurance, when you want the added endurance, or if you're going to use it daily, it's going to give you about 20 servings. But if you are using it just for the bedroom, then it'll last you a little bit longer.
Right, because, you know, a lot of times when I did the comparison, especially with these type of products, one peel can cost $15.
Correct. That's the chemical stuff.
One peel can cost $15. And when you think about one peel costing $15, and this right here, basically the price of this is like $55. You guys, you must know that you cannot get this type of stimulus package. No pun intended. Stimulus package for $55. One peel. Trump might want to get a hold of this. They're good. It's no joke, but you know what I mean. Stimulus package. You know, but $55 as opposed to one peel costing $15 and getting 20 servings. Do the math on that. You're well over $200.
Correct.
So people definitely come in, call the Fresh Shop, call the number that you see on the screen, and come and get your African Worrior. You know, I think if they come up with anything a bit stronger, we have to call it Shaka. My God. Anyway, we'll be back with another great product coming to you soon from the Fresh Shop, from Somalia. Doing it big, I'm telling you. We've got all that we need, and we don't need this Western medicine and philosophy as much as we guys are dependent on. Come and get our original man African Worrior product. It's a good health product. It's a product that you don't need to, you know, worry about the fact, you know, you might be, you know, in trouble during the day and your wife's on a 2-week excursion in Europe. You know, what do you do? So this thing is a really good health product as well to supply you with general health and energy, and as well as the stimulus that some men are looking for and couples are looking for in their lives. So until the next time, call the number. Out.
And some of the material that was being being presented to them was literally college level. The ages of some of the young people, middle school all the way up until high school. So the level that they had to reach was very high. The expectation for them was high. However, they reached it. And some of them, as you will hear, didn't necessarily feel that they were ready. Some came were like, well, I don't think everybody else is smarter than me. I don't think I can do it. But I can tell you that by the end of this program, all of them felt not only that they could do it or achieve the level of greatness what they were reading about, which the topics range from crime, inequality, privilege, identity, social justice, and leadership. They not only were able to learn from it, but they felt empowered, which was the goal of the program. The goal was to see young people find their voice and know that they could achieve great things once they were educated and they learned about things that were happening right in their own community. So without further ado, I am going to present to you some of those who did participate. They will be presenting, and if they can come, Kayrie Richards, Siobhan Hotzel, Ziaje Lee, and Mr. Robert Thomas. I also want to recognize Mr. Shaishan Burgess and Ms. Calvina Steed, who also decided to come to support us, and I appreciate the fact of the time to come. Without further ado, I give you the future leaders.
Good evening, all. Thank you, Ms. Alondra, for that very warm welcome. Injustice anywhere is a threat to injustice everywhere. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and distinguished guests. With protocol already being established, it is our privilege to be speaking here to you today on our future leaders' experience and exposure we gained as a whole. So we covered 7 different topics in this vigorous 3 weeks, ranging from identity and privilege to social justice. But what stood out to me the most was crime and inequality. And today, I'll be dissecting those topics as we did during the course of these 3 weeks. So let's talk about inequality. This is something that we all don't really like to talk about. We just like to put behind our backs and not really shine light on it. It's really the elephant in the room. But during this program, us 15, 16, and 17-year-olds had to discuss this. And we had to sit there and go through these uncomfortable topics and dissect it to the core. Things like the wage gap between blacks and whites, the wage gap between women and males. These are all uncomfortable topics, but these are things that we need to know as young people and that we need to have in our minds. Because as we grow up, we will be the ones who make a difference in these social issues. We will be the ones who will be closing these gaps. We will be the ones to make a change in Bermuda. Furthermore, we talked about poverty. We experienced poverty in several different lights, but one that really stood out to me was when we traveled down to the Salvation Army. So we got to talk with several people, and we got to meet different people and the owner, and we did a lot of things for him. But what stood out to me most was when we had a conversation, and he told us that, so they asked the people when they come in to stay in the shelter, do you want to stay 2 to 5 years or 8 to 10 years? And most people end up staying 15 years. People in Bermuda are struggling. People in Bermuda are going through hard times. And yes, we may be sitting here in our nice suits and enjoying this beautiful dinner, but some people don't have this privilege. The other day, I was with my mom in the car, and we were going to a picnic, and I was like, Mom, we're going to a picnic where someone doesn't even have something to eat for the rest of the week. We're going to a picnic when someone's dying of starvation. We as Bermuda need to realize that some people are in struggle and some people are in poverty. And we, as young people, need to know this, and we cannot be excluded from these statistics because these are the statistics, like I said, that we are going to change. And we, as young people, need to know this. Furthermore, we talked about crime. Since the Future Leaders program, crime has been rampant in Bermuda, and it's been something that is so evident. It's like we looked in the textbook and then it was there in our faces. We talked about crime, we talked about how it starts and what's the roots and what we can do about it. And these are things that really empowered us, because crime is a huge thing and it's so intimidating, but we are not as small and insignificant as we feel. Although we may look at a huge problem and be like, wow, I'm just a little morsel, but we are much more than that. We are powerful. We are amazing. We have the capability to solve these issues, and all it takes is for us to chain together as a community and solve these issues together. Without further ado, I would now like to introduce Ziaje Lee, who will talk about identity and privilege. Thank you.
Good evening. With great power comes great responsibility. Throughout the program, we discussed the unit of identity and privilege. This allowed us to look into the world very differently. I learned what an agent and target group is, what's an ally, how the cycle of oppression works, intersectionality, and so much more. We were able to meet with a range of leaders within the community, such as Lynn Winfield, who talked about economic, and so many more. So I want to give you an example, a matrix of oppression. However, where you may be, either within an agent group, also known as the oppressor, advantaged and dominant, or the target group, also known as the oppressed or disadvantaged. What you do is find the intersections, the crosses between the two groups, depending on who you identify with. Take me for example. I'm a young black girl, which puts me in a target group. Yet, living in Bermuda, I have access to education, and with Christianity as my religion, I'm within an agent group. Yet take someone else, a middle-aged white woman with religious beliefs as a Jew. She's an agent because she is white, but she is within a target group because her religion is Jew and she's a woman. This allows us to see the intersectionality, which is the overlaps between being an agent or a target. We also saw the different privileges that exist and how simple certain advantages are, such as being right. During the Future Leaders program, I was able to open my eyes to new ideas and develop how I look at the world around me. I now have the knowledge to stand up and debate through difficult topics that are challenging to my counterpeers. I went into the program wondering, why am I here? Why waste your summer on this? Truthfully, I imagined it to be like one of the boring classes I take in school. Yet, when it came down to the field experiences and the connections I was able to make, I gained so much more than I could have in some boring class. Throughout the program, we were able to reflect on how we felt about the different academic knowledge and field work we experienced. And as we were discussing identity and privilege, the identity that stood out to me the most had to be race. So I'm going to share with you a speech that I wrote on the racial tensions that exist in the world today. So, where does the disconnect between the blacks and whites within our society begin? How do we bridge the gap? Has 364 years plus of slavery and segregation caused such a large drift incapable of repair? Is there so much fear, hate, and envy so deeply rooted that we are incapable of healing? Why is it that we make our little bubbles and remain where we feel comfortable? Should we even gap? Or is it even a problem? When visiting the U.S. consulate, she talked of how she has never been invited into a black person's house for dinner, even though she has invited many over to her own home. So the question is, do we look at it as she is white, that's why she wasn't invited? Or is it a matter of she's of higher status, therefore I'm embarrassed? We have to make sure that we have open minds and view issues from each angle. I'm not taking away from that maybe it is a matter of race. Who really knows? We do have to think though, do we confine ourselves to bubbles? Do we feel safe within our social groups? Is it the fact that it is intergenerational trauma has caused us to stay to our own and stick with what we feel safe? I think that once we cross the bridge, we allow interpersonal isms to leave our groups behind, and therefore the gap stays open. I think that we as a society, have to unite. I understand that history can never be forgotten. The lashes of our ancestors are engraved on our back, and we can feel the water flooding our lungs. But we have to learn to let go and move towards a united front of peace. Where do we start, you ask? Can we make a change and release the hate? We must start with the children. We must change the mindsets of our children. We have to improve the way they think. We have to stop them thinking that they aren't able to fit in, and they have to stick with what they know. So how can we change how they think? How can we develop their young minds and shape them for a better world? How do we, as young adults, show them better than what we have received? What has been handed to us is a broken world filled with separation that is being upheld by both sides of the fence. How can we expect to break a system that we as a society created? Something so simple as race, a four-letter word so simple, yet causes such large problems. We can't eliminate race though. It's there, everyone looks at it. Let's be honest. I can create an imagery of both races positively for empowerment and negatively to instill humility. This way we can both understand the downfalls, challenges, and victories of both parties. We have to uplift both sides of the community to create a better one, to break down walls and build bridges. Speaking of breaking down walls and building bridges, here is Siobhan to talk to you about leadership.
Go to the people, live them, learn from them, love them. Start with what they know, build with what they have. But with the best leaders, when the work is done, the task accomplished, the people will say, we have done this ourselves. Lao Tzu. According to the social change model of leadership development, leadership is described as a purposeful, collaborative, values-driven process instead of a title or position. This kind of collaborative process means that groups must have trust, which requires that group members act in ways that are consistent with their beliefs and values as well as the group's goals. While in the Future Leaders program, we explored some of the social challenges in Bermuda through academic study, hands-on education, and meaningful service to local organizations to develop experience and leadership skills that we need to make a positive change in our community. For some, the knowledge that we were exposed to may have caused a few individuals to experience moments of cognitive dissonance, anxiety that results from simultaneously holding contradictory or otherwise incompatible attitudes, beliefs. But for myself and those in my group of spectacular young adults, we were able to assimilate and appreciate the information that we were given. From day one of the Future Leaders program, we were met with many different leaders in the community that had the ability to take their experiences and aid in shaping the world around them. Influencers such as the Honorable Wayne P. MP shared his thoughts and values with us about being a leader and having passion. Lynn Winfield, the executive director of CURB, used her white privilege to help out the Black community. And Gina Spence of Gina Spence Productions took her bad experiences and turned them into better opportunities for others. These are the leaders in our community that swayed us into desiring change. As young people, we are often overlooked as if we could not possibly be the future of our communities. However, while in this program, I met with a plethora of young adults with the same vision and mindset that desired to see changes in their island and in their world. As Nelson Mandela once said, the youth of today are the leaders of tomorrow. Whether it's through changing policies like what we did with the Department of Youth and Sport, or through building bridges like what we did with the jurisdiction, we as future leaders have demonstrated that we all have the power to make a difference. Speaking of the power to make a difference, I will now pass the mic to Kaylee, who will talk about social change.
Evening. Siobhan had outlined the social change model's definition of leadership, but what is change? I am no longer accepting the things I cannot interrupt in the cycle of oppression and allies, social entrepreneurship, activist, and activism. All of these examples are positive ways which lead to social change because charity alone cannot overturn injustice. During the program, we were addressed by a few members from the MOVE organization, a group of people who wanted to be heard and express their concerns. They told us about their experiences with protesting and being activists, and despite all of the obstacles they have had to overcome, they still stand strong. We were also visited by the boxer and social entrepreneur, Nikki Bellum, whose movement is about culture and unity and trying to create the next star. His advice was to do what you're passionate about, look up to people who are influential, and lastly, when you do good, good comes back, and when you do bad, bad comes back. We also had Phil from CURB, the advocacy group, who spoke to us about the importance of cognitive dissonance, affirmative action, intergenerational trauma, colorism, intersectionality, and the right to self-determination. At the beginning of the program, I was informed about all of the world's problems, and now I know there are ways that the problems can be resolved. I have realized there is so much more that everybody could do to improve the world, but not many people have the knowledge about the world and its problems. But also, we as a nation have become sleepwalkers and go along with the social norms because we may think that's just how the world is. It's not my responsibility. One person can't make a change. I can't make enough of a difference to matter, or I'm not an activist. So we must break the cycle of cynicism and practice the cycle of hope and repeat until a better world results. You must be the change you wish to see in the world. MK Gandhi, take action.
If you need to get money to someone right away, the Money Shop can help. With a money transfer, you can send money easily, quickly, and securely at a very low fee. Every year, thousands of Bermuda residents trust us to send money back home to family and friends, and it takes less than 10 minutes. Or you can send money online through our website, moneypad.bm. The Money Shop is also your one-stop shop for sending DHL courier packages, paying your Belco bill, and topping up your phone. Sell one in Bermuda, as well as phones all around the world, including Jamaica, Philippines, and the Dominican Republic. We also cash checks, including those from U.S. banks, and we wire money. The Money Shop offers cash for gold, with the best payouts on the island. And when you need to travel, our sister company, Trip, can make all the arrangements. Our experienced agents, who can speak Portuguese and Spanish, will get you the best deal, often cheaper than Expedia. And we help with visas, UK passports, Bermuda passports, and renewals, as well as work permits and spousal letters. The Money Shop's 3 locations, Dundonald Street, Washington Mall, and Warwick, are open 6 days a week, with the Dundonald shop offering extended hours to 9 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday.
The Money Shop.
Simple, fast, convenient. You'll be surprised how easy it is.
Honorable E. David Burt, JP, MP.
There's a lot of bright lights in here, and there's a lot of people. First of all, I want to thank Ms. Tiaja Bean for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, Tiaja. And before I begin, I know that they were given birthday greetings all around, but as a politician, we know that the number one people that we have to listen to are our constituents. And a constituent of mine that I saw on the street told me that I have to wish her sister, Miss Ann Caesar, happy birthday. So happy birthday to you, Miss Ann Caesar. Now, I'm aware that protocol has already been established. But quite frankly, as a new premier, and particularly as a premier of a Labor Party at a Labor Day banquet, I want the office of Premier to bestow all of the glory, all the respect, and all the formality of the office onto tonight's proceedings. So please, family, with your indulgence, I wish to state, to Brother Chris Ferbert, the President of the Bermuda Industrial Union, to the special guests at the podium, to the officers and members of the Bermuda Industrial Union, to the officers and members of the Bermuda Trade Unions Congress, to the ministers of the cabinet and members of the legislature, to the officers and members of the Bermuda Progressive Labor Party, to my wife, to my father, to my mother, and to my family, and also to Bermuda's youth, young leaders, and our future, and to everyone who came tonight in the spirit of solidarity. As the Premier of Bermuda, I bid you good evening and congratulations as you celebrate Labor Day 2017. That felt good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to history. And I say welcome to history because that is precisely why we are here this evening, as we are living history right now. And when they look back in the future and wonder what it was like after that landslide victory, they'll be looking at this night, 6 weeks after the general election returned a Labor Party to government, and the night when Labor celebrated that triumph. It's all right, you can clap. Because historians will say, on the 18th of July, the people spoke. No, that's not right. On the 18th of July, the people shouted. They screamed, they yelled, and to use a word, they exhaled. But if I say they, that's what the One Bermuda Alliance would say, isn't it? They would say, why didn't they vote for us? I can't believe they didn't vote for us. So let me change what I just said, family. The people of Bermuda shouted, we screamed, we yelled, and we exhaled. But the people did not just vote for the PLP. They voted against the status quo, and they voted for a new way. The people voted against the discrimination of Bermudians and for a government that would put Bermudians first. They voted against two Bermudas and voted for, as the young people told us, social equality. They voted against runaway capitalism and they voted for labor. That's right, they voted for labor. Yes, I see you. So I know I'm going to be told off for this on Tuesday, as I think the Royal Gazette's already gone to print for tonight. But I still need to say it, that during the campaign, it was clear that the PLP thought that Bermudians should be working before or even alongside non-Bermudians. The other guys thought non-Bermudians were the only priority. So when I say that labor won, it's no small thing. And if you doubt how important that fact is, I wish to relate a story that one of my ministers told me, and yes, he's here tonight. Because while settling into his new role, members of staff were contacting him on WhatsApp and Facebook and by email, telling him things that had been happening over the years. The discriminatory practices, the Bermudians being held back while non-Bermudians were excelling. The workers were telling him horrifying stories of pay differences and benefits for some and not all, about disciplinary actions that seemed arbitrary. He wondered how he told them that it was a new day in Bermuda. So he told them that he hears them loud and clear. He feels their pain. And he said that he needs to tell them something. Because up until July 18th, your thoughts about Bermudians in the workplace, the feelings you had when you saw injustice, the values that your parents had instilled in you well before July 18th, you were the revolutionary, the rebel, the troublemaker, who just wouldn't shut up and do their job. And they were the establishment. Well, guess what? Those days are over. And if anyone thinks that they can justify not doing what we said in our campaign, putting Bermudians first, then they are sorely mistaken. Let me be clear. Being Bermudian and working in Bermuda and using all your potential and being properly rewarded for it is not revolutionary. That is the way it should be. So welcome to the new establishment. And I can tell you, that minister is deadly serious too. You know, when your mama used to say, "Don't test me." Okay, maybe that was just my mom. Hi, Mom. Anyway, I wouldn't test that minister's commitment or this government's commitment to Bermudians, because it is very important that we appreciate exactly what happened the last election, and that was the popular vote. Because it's important, and we must understand that the Progressive Labor Party and Labor were under severe attack. We were outspent by 10 to 1. You couldn't go on your computer without seeing a wonderful One Bermuda Alliance ad. Your phone wasn't safe from seeing the wonderful picture of Michael Dunkley. The media was biased in what you can imagine, and the more desperate the One Bermuda Alliance got, the nastier they got. But in the face of their tricks, in the face of their misleading, and in the face of their bribes, remember that money that they're offering to everyone? We maintained our message. In the face of all of that nonsense, 59% of the Bermudian voters endorsed us and our message of equality. They voted for us to crush the idea to Bermudas. And with the help of God, and with the help of those of you in this room, we will dismantle the structures that make Bermuda's wealth work for one Bermuda while it continues to flog the other. And in an election where young Dennis Lister III beats Jeff, "It'll take a miracle to beat me, Sousa," and in an election where MP Chris Famous, I see him somewhere, puts Bob Airport for sale out to pasture, 24 to 12 seats sounds about right, doesn't it? No, I didn't hear you, doesn't it? You have to understand, family, I'm a little bit excited because I've been waiting for about 2 months to be able to address a room of friends like this. And I am grateful for the opportunity, because ever since the general election, people like you have been asking us, our MPs and our ministers, what now? What comes next? How do we use that mandate that we just attained? Well, to answer that question, I would like to rewind just a little bit. And I'll come at that question from a different angle, because we must remember how we got here. You may remember that the former government was being a little less than honest when they wanted civil servants, their own workers, to accept another furlough day, rather than even discuss other exercises that would not affect people's jobs and wages. You may remember that the former government wanted to introduce a pathway to Bermuda status for some residents. Well, in the face of that anti-Bermudian aggression, in the face of knowing that we were not being treated fairly, 3 men emerged. In truth, they emerged at a time when my own party may not have been as responsive to the crises as we could have been. But it doesn't matter, because as the saying goes, cometh the hour, cometh the man. In this case, however, it was more cometh the hour, cometh the men, M-E-N. The details of how they strategized, where they did so, nor can I tell you how many meetings they had in advance of launching and going public. And I really have no idea, I kind of do, how they picked the color red. But I can tell you that there are not many more impressive sights than seeing thousands of workers marching through Hamilton demanding fairness. There are not many more impressive sights than seeing 5,000 workers hold vigil, hold firm to their views, their beliefs, and their rights, and holding firm to each other on cabinet grounds despite the rain. And there are not many more powerful sights. 5,000 Bermudians stopped the One Bermuda Alliance from trying to go back on that platform promise. Yes, Senator Caesar, I see you. To not give Bermudian status to thousands of Bermudians. And so, the men who came when our hour came were Brother Chris Ferbert, Brother Jason Hayward, and Reverend Brother Nicholas Tweed. Brothers, please stand up and allow us gathered here tonight to give you a small measure of massive amounts of respect and credit that you deserve for inspiring, creating, and leading the People's Campaign. Thank you. Now, you may have realized that Brother Jason's not here. He did have to leave for a family incident, so we wish him well. But thank you for that, family. And that was just a small recognition. But brothers, please accept the sincere appreciation, respect for standing up, standing tall, and being counted. But it just wasn't the massive shows of solidarity during the Pathways catastrophe that set the stage for a Labor Party to win government. It was also the solidarity that arose to attack one simple act of unfairness in the workplace. And in some ways, that one act of cruelty would set the stage for a labor victory that we experienced on July 18th. Because it was about people that were losing jobs. And it was a huge issue for One Bermuda. But there was nothing, no big deal, for the other Bermuda. It was the firing of a group of employees at the Hamilton Princess, remember? In the face of arrogance, the BIU stance was simple. You are wrong. It is clear. Take them back. As it always does in the spirit of solidarity, the BIU took up the cause of their brothers and sisters who had been fired. The BIU march. Is it coming back to you, family? As the marchers went down Front Street, a woman on the balcony at a restaurant shouted at them. Go back to work. Now, you know, when you're on the front line of social justice in this country, sometimes being shouted at is the best you can hope for. Right, Reverend? If you really want to know what happens when you stand up for social justice, there is a living example right there. Now, the former government and the employer had been surprised by the march, but they were solid in their decision. But then the marchers paused outside the cabinet building and directed their protests at that building. Actually, the woman shouting for the workers to get back to work and for them to be grateful that you have a job was the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce. And she was fired for her actions. But that made Bermudians stand up and take notes. It was a pivotal moment. But family, let me ask you, do you remember what Brother President Chris Famous said in reply? Even though his members had been insulted and harassed, the trade unionists in his response, as he said, and I quote, "My opinion is still that she should not have lost her job, although I understand what happened was serious," end quote. See, that, family, is principle. That is what is applied throughout. And the same that he stood for his members, he would stand for that lady, even in the face of her vitriol. So believe it or not, that was in 2014, long before ACON, long before Pathways. But you see, over the past 4 years, we have lived in a Bermuda where almost every union in this country had to march. And if you are here tonight at your first union function, then you may not be aware of the effectiveness of marches. In fact, saying that reminds me of a story that I was told by a friend. He's a black Bermudian, and he told me that he had a friendship with an older white Bermudian woman that lasted about 50 years. He told me that it was a true friendship where they were open and honest in their discussions about race and the challenges faced in our country. He told me how when his friend read Jonathan Smith's book, Island Flames, she was reading it and would call him excited about what she learned. And she seemed particularly interested and impressed with the late Dame Lois Brown Evans and her efforts to represent her clients, speak to the people, and to spare 2 lives. She was blown away by the knowledge and one day called to say, "I will never underestimate marches again. My whole life I didn't get it. I don't know why people march, and now I get it. And I will never discount marching again, because people march when they have absolutely no other peaceful means or avenues to achieve the change that they want." The effectiveness of marching is really about the effectiveness of solidarity. If you are connected with the workers, the builders of the economy and of the country, then chances are you can resolve issues by talking, negotiating, and empathizing, and marching is not necessary. However, if you feel that your perspectives are the only correct perspectives, if you feel that you alone know better than everyone else and even the people that you serve, and if you are so disconnected that you do not care how your decisions affect your own employees' quality of life, then as my mother said, if you don't hear, then you shall feel. And I felt a little bit in my younger years. Hi, Mom. The theme of Labor Day is celebrating solidarity. The solidarity that I have been speaking about so far is external, visible and tangible, expressions that you can see. The marches, the petitions, the press conferences. At that time, solidarity is obvious. However, despite some challenges, the Bermuda Public Services Union has been steadfast in its resolve and its support of its president. That is internal solidarity, the confidence that comes with unconditional support. And as a result of the solidarity that Brother Jason Hayward has received, the country has benefited from his fearlessness. So solidarity has gotten us this far and got us a victory on July 18th. But what I want to see is not just for us to celebrate solidarity. I want us to celebrate the result of our solidarity. So the question is, what next? Is our solidarity only about marching and expressing frustrations? What do you do with a landslide victory and one of the biggest mandates in Bermuda's history? Labor was founded as workers wanted to ensure that they got their fair share from those who, in most instances, inherited the land and the money to become the producers in the economy. With our election victory, we have won the tools to make change. And that is the power to change laws and to control the public purse. But that alone will not make the change to ensure that the children and grandchildren of today's workers, who we heard earlier, will become the producers of tomorrow. See, the labor movement and the Labor Party have a chance to write a new script. We can show this country that the lesson of solidarity is unity. Unity of vision and unity of purpose. You see, we already know success. Solidarity made 4 workers get back their jobs in 2014, ended furlough days in 2015, stopped pathways to status in 2016, and won the government in 2017. Now that the people have chosen to put their trust and belief in us, that our collective leadership can work together, now we have to demonstrate to them what solidarity can achieve. Make no mistake, the majority of Bermudians chose hope, and they chose to believe that since, when given the chance, Bermudians will excel whatever we set our minds to. And this government will give them that chance. The PLP government will improve our education system. We will provide better training and invest in lifelong learning for all of our people. And we will provide more access to capital to boost entrepreneurs. But then what? As a community of workers, we will not accomplish our dream of economic empowerment until we understand that through solidarity, we must empower each other by using our collective efforts and begin to harness the forces of cooperative economics. Until we do that, we will not experience true economic empowerment and realize the result of solidarity. We as labor have an awesome responsibility to lead by example. I'll tell you a story about earlier today. I went to the Washington Mall for lunch. I may have seen a few walking down Reed Street. And I went to the food court for the first time to get food. And I had about 5 choices. And no, my love, I didn't choose what I felt like eating, most, because I love Chinese food. Instead, when faced with the choice of where I was going to eat from, I chose to get food from the restaurants that had Bermudians serving there. Having made my choice, I met a young Bermudian, Kevin Richardson, who served me my burrito bowl. You should have seen his face. He recognized me when I came up, and he said, "You're the premier. Come, let me serve you." His pride in serving his country's premier warmed my heart. And there we were grinning because he's serving his premier, and me grinning because I just met this young Bermudian who made me feel proud to be his premier. And the vibe was nice. And see, that small action of community solidarity is powerful. That very small action. And so what we do, family, is that we must ensure that when the son of a worker comes back home to start his business and hires Bermudians, we must support him. When the daughter of a lifetime worker and laborer who may have been out on our refuse trucks all day comes home to open that store and hire Bermudians, we must support her. And by spending our money in the places that reflect our values, we will place more importance on the roles that our values play in how we spend our money. And there's one more important lesson of which I have to say. Because when you work for persons who have started up these companies, and the companies grow, and they begin to become more successful, don't let the envy of the person who started the business, because they might be making a little bit of profit, get you to the point where you feel as though if you need to break off and start your own business and split the pie between the two of you. Go to that person and ask, how can I become a shareholder and we can build more together? See, family, that stunning victory on July 18th has placed a microscope on you and I. Certainly, we are being examined on our labor philosophy, but more importantly, they will question our ability to work together to produce the best Bermuda that we can. Family, let me be very clear. This is not a revenge mission. I say it again. This is not revenge. Our fellow Bermudians are trusting us. They are trusting that the solidarity that produced marches and demonstration, that demanded respect and change, will produce a Bermuda that works for all of us. The haves will continue to keep theirs, but the have-nots will be helped by this government to earn theirs too. And just like the others were helped by the old establishment, be clear, as my minister said, the new establishment will help Bermudians. We will provide those opportunities, but opportunities alone will not get us where we want to go. We must practice community solidarity so that we can celebrate the benefits of collective solidarity. So family, that is your mission over the next 5 years. We will lead the government, but you, the workers, must lead in changing our approach to ensure that we can enjoy the benefits of solidarity. Let us make sure that we spend our money in the places that recognize and celebrate and share our values. Because I can tell you, as I'm standing here tonight, that this government is firmly committed to demolishing the elements in Bermuda that maintain the two Bermudas. We will weed out the bias and the racism that has held this country in its grip for too long, that has cut off potential, that has ruined access to opportunities by providing a less than high quality education, unfulfilling jobs, and little ability to earn enough to own a piece of the rock. But we have to make sure that we seize this moment in history and resist the temptation to fight amongst each other. Fighting amongst each other will not get us what we need to do. And that is the fact that in this country, the workers and we must implement a living wage. I say it one more time. We must implement a living wage. We must reduce the cost of living in this country. And we must ensure that all people, no matter the color of their skin, their gender, or their physical abilities, will get the same wage for the same work. We must ensure that employers give the same benefits to all of their staff, and so that Bermudians are hired, treated, and rewarded fairly. And there's a few more things that we have to do, family, because although it's not a revenge mission, justice must still be done. So we must examine the historical injustices of stolen land to ensure that some families finally get their justice. And we must ensure that we get to the bottom of the horrors of December 2nd, 2016, where workers and seniors, and I see Ms. Esme Williams over there, were viciously assaulted, and find out what happened and the truth, because our people deserve no less. Now, as I'm about to take my seat, I want to leave you with this little story about the people we serve and our perspective on service. There was a barber in a city with a little shop with loyal customers. One day, a new barber shop opened right across the street. The new barber immediately put a sign on the window saying, "This is the best barbershop in the city." A month later, another barber opened up a shop on the street, and he put up a sign saying, "This is the best barbershop in the country." One of the first barbers, doing but loyal customers, said, "Hey, mate, you better get on board and put a sign in your window too. It seems to work for those other guys." The barber thought about it for a little while and agreed. And the next day, customers began to fill his shop again. His friend came in to congratulate on his brilliant new sign, and the sign simply read, "Best barbershop on the street." Like the barber, we will never forget who we serve and on whose support we stand. The One Bermuda Alliance wanted foreign praise so badly that they forgot about their own people suffering. They had so much vanity, they forgot that they were actually public servants. Well, we are the people who we serve. We will not forget who we are, and we will not forget that we are here to take care, just like the barber, of the people on our street. My brothers and sisters, let tonight be the beginning of the rebirth of in Bermuda. The union is active. The government is labor, our mandate is strong, and we can be the best labor movement that the world has seen, and we will do it together in solidarity. United we stand. God bless you and thank you.
If you need to get money to someone right away, the Money Shop can help. With a money transfer, you can send money easily, quickly, and securely at a very low fee. Every year, thousands of Bermuda residents trust us to send money back home to family and friends, and it takes less than 10 minutes. Or you can send money online through our website, moneypad.bm. The Money Shop is also your one-stop shop for sending DHL courier packages, paying your Belco bill, and topping up your phone. Sell one in Bermuda, as well as phones all around the world, including Jamaica, Philippines, and the Dominican Republic. We also cash checks, including those from U.S. banks, and we wire money. The Money Shop offers cash for gold, with the best payouts on the island. And when you need to travel, our sister company, Trip, can make all the arrangements. Our experienced agents, who can speak Portuguese and Spanish, will get you the best deal, often cheaper than Expedia. And we help with visas, UK passports, Bermuda passports, and renewals, as well as work permits and spousal letters. The Money Shop's 3 locations, Dundonald Street, Washington Mall, and Warwick, are open 6 days a week, with the Dundonald Shop offering extended hours to 9 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday.
The Money Shop.
Simple, fast, convenient. You'll be surprised how easy it is.
Here we are once again, Fresh TV, the best TV, and there's Lamont Marshall already dashing out to the front. Tank, you used to be a guy that used to be on this course.
Yes,
Tank.
I did.
What's the new course today? What's the new course?
They're leaving here. They're going as far as August Insurance. When they get to August Insurance, they're taking a left onto Wesley, and at the Wesleyan Church, they're taking a right. And once they get to Parlerville, they're taking a left along Parlerville to the stop sign, taking a left onto Front Street, down to Crow Lane, roundabout, turn around, coming back along Front Street. Then they're turning around by Chew Stick, coming back along Front Street, making a left onto Court Street, Dundonald and Hearn.
All
to
right.
the Union.
To the Union. All right, there we go. Yes, Patty. Give thanks, and here we are. Once again, we're going at it. From Dunny. And there's the big Dunlop once again. Now we're gonna chase down this small pack once again, doing it big. We had to come out from our morning show. Well, we got some runners there. Got some people running up the back. Now we just gotta chase down and get to the leaders. Of course, from Dunny.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Making a custom turn.
Hey, what's that? Who's that? Mari? That's Mari back there? Mari, what you doing back there, Mari? Nats? Whoop, whoop, Sharpie. What, Jersey there? Well, the race is up front, as you know, with Marshall. This is going to be a fast 5 miles right here. Before you know it, it will be over. I'm telling you, right now, these guys absolutely fly. The race is definitely up front. This is setting the pace for the first race of the season. Nasty. People who won't normally be in this particular race. As we head for the leaders, this will be a fast 5 miles. It's a sprint for some. Beautiful day out. As we hook, you can tell these guys are going quite fast. Feel stretched out. Marshall is stretched out right now. You can see this is nothing but a sprint for him. Got 3 suffering right there, struggling for 4th and 3rd. Shirts have come off already, trying to chase down Marshall, who basically is sprinting away with this. It's going to take quite a bit of work. It's supposed to be a 5 miler. There's number 2 right there. Got his shirt off already. Coming out the Mings. See if we can catch up with Marshall. My glutes are burning already. Walker's got the fray. The fray there. Great cricketer. You can see me chasing on this guy. It's going very fast. Here's Marshall. Once again, no one really in sight of him. Laying down his first marker for the running season. He's all out here by himself. Running in solitude right now. So to the stride of this young man. There's Daddy. Daddy on the bike. Somewhat of a training run for this young man. Let him go and peel back. We let him go. You see, he has put such a big lead on the second place runner as we see him go down into the distance. He's put a big lead on the second place runner, who you can hear trotting along. Stars and stripes. We're in them probably, and then third place. There's a move on third place right now. And here's third place. As it rolls through, they break apart, separating the boys from the man as he gets a little hawky out. See? Working very hard, and here's third, fourth, fifth, and sixth. You see, that's Mr. Hart right there. You never know. I think he's got a couple of victims coming at him. For him, he's got a couple of victims definitely coming, and we'll definitely go back and see who's next, because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That's seven places right there going up. 7 places. And we are now some 8 minutes into this particular run. Some 9 minutes in the start of this race. Some 9 minutes. And here's the first lady. Here's the first lady in 8th place. First female, looking very comfortable. And she's got a second female who's got the cadence up on her run. That's the second female, short stride. Quite awkward for a running style, but nonetheless the cadence are up. And as we go down, this looks like Wilkinson right there. That young man coming back from a very big accident. Yes, beloved, 9th and 10. Right there. Wilkinson man came back from a very serious head injury. And now the field starts to pound on. Mike Bite starts to pound on. And you can start seeing the somewhat casual runners start coming through now. No, not so quite casual. This man runs quite a lot. See if he's improved his time over the last race. And of course, running through. Some people doing it just for the love of it. Morning. Some people doing it just for the love. The third lady coming up. Lamont Marshall now coming back through. Lamont Marshall going on for glory. No doubt, nobody to actually win this. You can see this pace. We're going to pick back up with Mr. Marshall.
Pick him up with Mr. Marshall. Coming back up now. Pick him back up as he goes. And you can see as he continues, oh, we got a walker. There's Kelvin. There's Mr. Marshall right there. Dad might be around again. Seeing him come back through. Looking very comfortable. Beautiful running stride, very even. No pressure. No pressure on him at all. She gets a good on look from one of the ladies talking about looking good as usual. I'm not sure if she's talking about the running style or his physique. As he gets encouragement once again. As we tuck in behind this Bermuda steeplechase premier runner right now as well. As you may have seen him do the permit. Show Bermuda. Let's enjoy the splendor of the moment, what it's like to be out there all by himself. As we turn around, he's gonna go to that turnaround mark, and there's no one there in sight with him. As he rounds the mark, he's gonna go up Court Street, not taking any water. He's gonna round that mark, and second place still, but at least 500 yards behind, maybe. Just about, maybe, or 400 is actually got a clear bit of distance as he gets ready to take the hill. Morning, how are you? Good, Donna. Beachy. As he comes up, making the run, and I know we'll definitely let him go on to glory on his own as we check back through. As Pops, there's Pops. As he comes around, there he is. I'm gonna as he's running over the hill. Bit of an easy race. Somewhat a humid morning. Pretty humid morning, humid. As we see him dig in. There he is, coming over that hill like a champion. This is the home stretch. There's no one to really catch him at this point, as he knows that he's laid down a good marker for himself. So we go across Presty B, makes the run, go for victory. There's no one who could really catch him. I don't think there ever was a doubt, really. As he heads for home. As he heads through the tape. No one will catch Mr. Marshall this morning. Not even a choice. No. Not even a choice for anyone. He's in. There'll be no one who could even think about catching Mr. Marshall at all. Here comes second place. There's second place right there. Second place turning for gold. And was third place able to hang on? Actually, third place did hang on. Third place was able to hang on as they threw. This is third place. There's third place right there. And is this Mr. Who's this coming up now? Is this Mr. Hart? I did say he was going to probably knock off a few. He couldn't pick off third place though. Probably started his move a little bit too late. That young man actually turned it on. That's Mr. Hart coming through. Good old Hart, good go. Not being able, you could see it's absolutely drenching right there. This is a sprint for many. This is a sprint for many. You could see the humidity very high this morning. Very high. We'll do for this day to be like a 24th of May. Trust me, it would absolutely hurt to actually get this particular race on the way. It is now 17 minutes. These guys were running at a very high pace. You could see Mr. Marshall running at the pace that he was running, trying to complete 1500. And as you know, we'll be, getting some interviews and talk with some of the guys. And of course, here's the first female. It's always nice to give the first female that shine. She takes on fifth. Yes, me boss, presidential. This is sixth right here, looking strong as we go through with the first female. We follow her along, give her that shine. First row here. Now we're getting threatened by number 2 that not able to close the gap. Very comfortable, turning it up. Going into the final. As she goes on for glory. As she goes on for glory. Right there, our first female. This looks like number 6, 7 right there. Suffering through. And there's a second female right there going through. What's your name, dude?
Tim.
Tim?
Yeah.
Congratulations on your second.
Thanks. Your name?
Elmore. Fresh TV. So how was their run out there? It seemed like the humidity was up. You guys are drenched.
They could have turned the heat down a little bit. That would have been nice. But yeah, it was good.
Is this your first time running this race?
Yeah, this one it is, yeah. It's a fun race, a little warm, but it went out as I figured it would. Le Mans, a mile ahead of everyone. But it's good. The kid's an awesome runner.
Yeah.
So it was
So how many races have you done before this? Like, have you run last season? Did you run last season?
100 races, yeah.
Okay.
Ran all last year, from about January through May 24th.
Oh, you did May 24th as well?
Yeah.
Okay, what did you place there?
10th or 11th. I think.
All right, well, you're pretty much up there.
It was fun.
Is this your sort of tester to see where you are, sort of on your speed run, or what?
Yeah, a little bit. I'm going away. I have a marathon Sunday, so yeah, last little run before that.
Before that, dear? Oh,
so
shoot.
I'd much rather run that distance than this.
Okay.
5Ks are brutal.
Yeah.
Only thing worse than those are a mile.
All right, so that's 3 point something miles, 5K?
3.1. Yeah.
It's 3.1 miles. Yeah, I mean that's like a sprint.
It's ugly. I'd rather do the 13s or 26s, that longer stuff.
So which race are you going to see overseas to?
It's in Pennsylvania, near where I grew up. So small race, Erie Marathon.
Okay.
So yeah, it'll be fun.
All right. Well, congratulations.
Thanks, man.
Thank you for participating in the Labor Day run, and
we get all the races, so.
All right. Well,
see how it goes.
We'll look forward to seeing you later.
All right. Have a good one.
You too. There you go. Second place right there, and you heard it. We just make it in. Easy, the Dorm family. Anyway, we're gonna go in, get some comments where we can, obviously, and of course the reporter guy. You know, these guys come in and get their stuff going. But anyway, this is the Labor Day run, and it's definitely one of those races where yes, looks like quite the number of people out right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know something, Donny.
Yeah. You didn't have to go too far today.
No, it's a shorty. Yeah. It's a sprint.
And a little loop, but it made it easy.
Yeah. Oh, there's the dirt woman.
That's what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? At the end, yeah.
Go for it. Oh yeah, you got a real cap going on. I see something that's like very significant about this cap.
Yes.
What's significant about this cap? Gotta tell us.
Autism.
Oh, okay.
All these buttons are very old. I know that.
I'm
all my
serious?
grandest buttons.
Yes.
And autism, I have to shout out to autism.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
And those are all your granny's buttons.
Yes.
Oh, look at that. No, which is your
Yes.
favorite? Which is your favorite?
I like this star.
You know what? I was going for that star. Is it because it's gold?
Just because it's starfish. You know?
Our little star.
Looking out at it.
You know that. And see, it got that significance to it. It's family heirlooms. You know, I have a jacket like that actually. It's what you call it now. I have a denim jacket. I have all my buttons that I collected, like all my brooches from my grannies to my aunties. I have all this stuff. I like that. See, she's connected.
Thank you.
What's your name?
I am Jasmine Blair, J.
Jasmine Blair, I heard you give a shout out to Lamont saying, you know, how good he looked. I said I wasn't sure whether it was his running or his physique.
Both.
That's an honest girl. I'm loving that. See, I was right. I felt it.
Thanks for looking out at me.
You know that, but you're looking fit yourself. How come you didn't
I am
run?
fit. I'm just on a little injury right now. But I'm ran a marathon 3 consecutive times in Bermuda.
Okay, I love that, Jasmine. Right?
Yes.
Jasmine, look out for you. Look out for her this year. You're gonna run the season.
Yeah, of course, every year.
Okay.
Every year.
There she is. Well, you know, it's nice to see the people coming out. Of course, she couldn't make this race.
Make sure you get this guy on camera in the orange with the earth fans coming up.
Okay, who is that, the Bobo?
Uncle, I just call him Uncle. Coming right now.
Okay, coming up with your fence. Okay, this is Uncle.
In the
Uncle
orange.
in the orange. It's wearing a fresh orange. That's fresh colors right there. He's wearing orange.
Come on, Steve.
Oh, the earth friends. Okay. Come on, Uncle. Come on, Uncle. Come on, Uncle. Come on, Uncle's in his bees. Come on, Uncle. Just cheering for Uncle. She got him in.
Gotta give you all at the end.
I'm telling you. Jasmine. There's Jasmine cheering on Uncle. And here's Sherry. Is this Sherry? Yeah, it's Sherry. It's Jancy. Is it Jance? Yeah, it's Jance. All right, Jancy. All right, Jancy. That girl ain't got about a bit of that on her, I'm telling you. That was a sprint that could actually just ruin your day. I'm telling you. That sprint could ruin your day. It's like a small race, but oh boy, it could ruin your day. I'm telling you. Anyway, there we go. Best TV, the best TV. Doing it big. And that's the race. Right there, giving everybody the little bit of shine coming up.
You would call this like a little warm-up. This is just a warm-up in the Dunlop.
Hey, for some.
Just a little warm-up. Oh, there's Elizabeth. All right, Elizabeth, I ain't seen you running in a while. She's back out. This is back out running.
Yeah. Good job. 20 meters and
All right, oh, she managed to pick it back up. It's not tough coming back from a walk. Not easy coming back from a walk. Not easy. No. She started walking, and then she came back. All right, Gladys. All right, yes.
20 meters to home.
There's the ladies going through. Oh, there's a woman's block right here. There's a woman's block.
Yeah.
Another one.
Home sweet home. Home sweet home.
Oh, there's plenty of them coming in now.
It's a hot day too.
Real.
Like the
Yeah,
temperature?
humid.
Yeah.
Humid.
Yeah.
I mean, the guys were soaking wet. As we look at the, we definitely looking at a bigger crowd out right now. It's a good crowd because you don't always have so many people out so early. But right now, people are out in force. Out in force, cakes and cookies. Oh, tasty, see that the Lord is good. Oh, okay, pony and the old proverbs in there. All right.
Home sweet home.
All right, macaroon in there. As people come in, they have a group of walkers out there as well. And they come in.
82 degrees.
82 degrees.
But the real feel, Elmer, is 80. It says 97, and the mixture of the humidity mixed with the temperature. So the real feel is a lot higher than 82 degrees.
Wow. So it could be more like 87.
Yeah, well, the real feel says 97%. So they mix the 82 degrees with high humidity.
Okay.
You get this other factor known as real feel. So that's really important.
Oh. And so the real feel would be then higher than 82.
Correct.
Didn't know about the real feel. Now you know. See, real feel.
You walk up. They wanted me just make sure.
You know, real feel will be higher than 82 because I'm telling you, these guys are soaking wet, right? It was high humidity. I could feel it. Definitely felt it myself.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Definitely felt it myself.
Good job. Stretch.
Oh, that's a nice lady. She's running in, and she beat some people. That was dear. Look at that deer. That's deep. 29:30. I couldn't run that. That lady ran that pretty quick. I'm serious. I couldn't look at that. She beat this young boy. Look. He's breathing like that deer. He let his grandma beat him. That's serious. Here's to show you. If you ain't a runner. Here are ladies coming in again. There's a bunch of ladies right now.
Good job. Good job.
Bunch of ladies coming in. Another one.
Good job.
Another one coming in there. And there's another one coming in. Oh boy. Another one. Huh? These like this. The Joker's nets. Probably one of the cutest runners out there right now. Always running a race. Yes, he love it. Huh? Gotta be one of the cutest runners. She's always running in style. There's the nuts. The Natty Dread. Go on, Natty Dread. Go on, Natty.
That's TV.
Go on there, Natty. That's Natty. That's Natty right there. Natty Dread. Stop running in all cute outfits, though. Hope I didn't insult her. Cute outfits. She usually runs something funky. It's not as funky, it's much turning down a little bit. My Natty Dread.
See that low gauge? See the measurement? 97%. Can you see it?
What's going on? Oh, right there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Real
97.
feel. Yeah.
Real feel is 96.
Yeah.
That's crazy. I love giving the real feel. Yeah, giving the real feel. It's Labor Day. Don't forget, you should all make sure you all should come out and be a part of this. It's very important to be a part of Labor Day. And whatever way you can, you should be thinking about that. It's just that important. Okay? Honest. Oh boy. Oh boy. And there's Jancy. Go on, Jancy. I see you out there, Jancy. Go on, Jancy. All right.
Stretch.
All right, Sharpie. Go Sharpie. Go Sharpie. Go Sharpie. Go Sharpie. Go Sharpie. Oh my. Oh my. Sprints at the end. Sprints at the end. Oh my. Oh, Saki. Saki, what happened to that push bike? Saki? Saki? What happened to the push bike? You still got her? Anyway, this is about to wrap up Fresh TV, Best TV right here. And we hope you enjoyed this little run, you know what I mean? Those of you come out, these numbers get smaller there. You see the numbers pick back up. It's a fun run, right? It's meant to be a nice fun run. Come on out, we run it. I mean, I skated, of course, but I have to record you all, right? But, you know, come out, enjoy this day, right? And hopefully see you out here for the walk, right? The labor walk. Of all these people that talked about being out there and coming around and you labor this and you labor that and well, Bermuda this and it ain't no to Bermuda this and all this sort of stuff. Come out! So like I say, anyway, Fresh TV, the Best TV, we'll be back right after this.
If you need to get money to someone right away, the Money Shop can help. With a money transfer, you can send money easily, quickly, and securely at a very low fee. Every year, thousands of Bermuda residents trust us to send money back home to family and friends, and it takes less than 10 minutes. Or you can send money online through our website, moneypad.bm. The Money Shop is also your one-stop shop for sending DHL courier packages, paying your Belco bill, and topping up your phone. Sell one in Bermuda, as well as phones all around the world, including Jamaica, Philippines, and the Dominican Republic. We also cash checks, including those from U.S. banks, and we wire money. The Money Shop offers cash for gold, with the best payouts on the island. And when you need to travel, our sister company, Trip, can make all the arrangements. Our experienced agents, who can speak Portuguese and Spanish, will get you the best deal, often cheaper than Expedia. And we help with visas, UK passports, Bermuda passports, and renewals, as well as work permits and spousal letters. The Money Shop's 3 locations, Dundonald Street, Washington Mall, and Warwick, are open 6 days a week, with the Dundonald Shop offering extended hours to 9 p.m. and 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Sunday.
The Money Shop.
Simple, fast, convenient. You'll be surprised how easy it is.
Running Club has a new president now, and the president is Fernando Badeas. I'm gonna let him speak for 2 quick seconds.
Fernando. Guys, hey, it's great to see everybody out there having fun. And
In 3rd place was Zoe Hasloff. Hasselkoss.
No, he smiled.
Stay right here, stay here, stay here. In 2nd place, Catherine Bean Bizarro.
All right, Catherine.
And in 1st place, Maisha Sharif. Rich Jada Grant too. Picture with the doctor.
Nice uniform. Hello, girl. Go on. Here we go. Yeah.
Right. Give a big round of applause, everybody.
So your junior winners.
Age 13 to 15. Second place, Liana Medeiros. And in first place, Jesse Marshall. Now, junior males, 8 to 10. In third place, Riley Brescian. In a time of 10:51. In second place is Mascara Masaki. And in first place, Sharif.
Oh, now the Sharif's turning it up. Sharif's wiping up. Sharif family wiping up this morning. That's all right, man. Let him go, man. Let him go, man. Let him go. Let him go, man. Let him go.
All right, guys, big smile. Mercy, come here. Come here. Mercy.
11 to 12, Jalen Grant, in a time of 8:36. Second. And in first place, Jake Brixlane.
See that? Watch him, boy. Watch him.
Just one quick announcement. My mistake. 13 to 15 minutes. Leanne Dearest. Hang on. Male. I did that. Tommy Marshall. Was he last? Was he?
No, he didn't call it.
I didn't call it? He's not here?
He called second. So that's for the kids. Yay, Tommy!
And overall male, this is Lamont Marshall in a time of 16:34.
Nice pick, guys. Come on, guys.
Come, Gil.
These guys are flying everywhere. Right out. Flying Bermuda, right out.
At the Labor Day 5K, obviously a warm-up run for you, something that you go out with looking very comfortable. Tell us a bit about just the start of the season, like, and what your intentions are.
Yeah, it's pretty good. I mean, I know it's a flat course, so I was just trying to keep it even. It's hot, everybody's on. Wow, for me, I can say, tired legs. So just came out just to extend my season.
than the season. Now, obviously, this your sort of prelude to sort of feel like, hey, just what your legs are doing, what your legs are doing.
No, this is
like
my last race for the season.
This will be your last race?
This is for me shutting down. So
Really?
I probably won't be competing till sometime in the new year. Give or take, yeah.
So you're not going to be on this sort of running schedule like everyone else doing a lot of these?
No. I usually debut sometime in the new year. I've been doing a lot of track though.
Okay.
So
right.
I'll probably just start off, depending, we'll see how it goes in January, and I'll probably debut maybe like February, March or something like that.
Now, obviously, I first look at you doing the steeplechase at the pyramid up at Nationals. Seeing what you got there, is this your sort of Olympic hopeful move on this?
Yeah, that's the focus. So that's what I'm saying. It's more geared towards track, which is like from April to August. So that's when you want to really peak for. So throughout the winter, just a lot of long ones and just, gradually easing into like tempos and track toward the end of the year, December, January, and then I debut like usually like springtime. That's usually spring, summer is when I want to be most fit for.
What's this steeplechase mean to you in terms of what you did at the pyramid, where you sit in the world, and your real potential to sort of like really have a good showing at qualifying for the Olympics?
Everything takes time, so I just see how I've been going good with it for the last 2 seasons. This will be my 3rd year. Definitely more confident going to the barriers. Yeah. It's a good thing, man. Like I said, to just to having qualified for Commonwealth in the event. So next year we should be good.
All right. Well, you know, we're looking forward to that, seeing you on the track, and obviously getting some shine on the TVs, right? Because they have those cameras at a lot of those meets now, right? Yeah. All right. Well, good stuff. Peace be with you, and congratulations on today's run. Well, there we go. Lamont Marshall doing it big once again. We got to work with the female as we move through. Maybelline Black, we're here with Maybelline Black. Now, you medaled today. I watched you beat up on some young people today, Maybelline. I mean, that's pretty serious. You're looking pretty fit out there.
Yeah, well, I haven't been doing too much training because it's so hot. A little bit here and there, you know. I figured the heat would finish me today, but just kept a steady pace. Starting, that's my aim, and just pick up the pace a little bit. I came early.
What's it like when you're like crossing like these young 25-year-olds out
You know
there?
what?
It must just spur you on.
I don't even notice him. One guy said I kept him going because he was following me. A little young guy. I don't know him. But it's all good fun. I love it.
How long you been running?
About 8 years.
About 8 years. What made you take up running?
In 3rd place?
I thought one day, I said, I want to do Bermuda Day. And then I said, started training, and then the coach from Swan Running Club said, he'll train me. He said, you can do it. So then he made me do my first race. I've been doing them ever since.
So you did race 24th this year as well?
Yes.
St. George's?
Yes.
Wow, so this is a breeze for you now. No wonder you're pumping the boys like that.
No, I don't like the heat there.
You don't like the heat?
I don't like the heat. I don't even like summer.
Well, you're looking well.
Thank you.
Congratulations. So you won, what did you get the medal for?
First place in my age group.
First place? I'm not going to say the age group.
Okay.
Yeah. It beats them up there, but first place in the age group.
Yes.
That's very good.
69.
And I'm
He
encouraged.
just said it.
2nd place, PJ.
Oh, 69? You're serious?
I'm
63?
Yes.
That's a good year.
Yes.
I was born in 63.
Oh, no. Okay.
Good year, don't say no. That's a good year.
And in 1st place.
Yes. Thank you, Maybelline. All right, here you are. And you know, look, it's a lot of medals get given out on here. A lot of medals get given out. Anyway, we'll talk to the female. We'll be back.
I'm gonna let him do it. Just.
Okay, and welcome once again to this special edition of the Fresh Shop. Of course, haven't brought you a new product in a while, but today we are very excited to have a brand new product on the market right here at the Fresh Shop. And of course, it's by Zemania and the African Worrior. Now, this particular product has been creating quite the buzz in the community amongst the men and the women, believe it or not. And we managed to get a call of one of our brand new users of this amazing herbal product, all natural. Okay, this is an all natural product. You will not see blue when you use it. You know, there's a lot of things going on out there. And I can tell you, I've heard men talk about you know, seeing blue. You're not supposed to see blue if you don't have on a blue light. Let's just be honest about it, okay? Which means that you're using chemicals that are getting to your blood and are poisoning your eyes. Nonetheless, this is a natural product, and all jokes aside, people are seeing blue. You ain't gonna see brown with this, okay? And it's a really nice size pack. It is a natural herbal remedy for energy, okay? And of course, a lot of people today want that little extra something during the romantic hours that they would like to enhance. And so the African Worrior brings out the best, I might say, in performance as well. So it's not just the same old, not a big chemical. This is from the motherland, and it's been brought to us once again by Zamania. And right now we have a special guest in studio, which I must tell you, this young person, this person has decided to, you know, keep the identity secret, because, you know, this is a very personal and private thing. But the fact that this lady has come forth to want to share this and share the experience with us and with my Fresh TV audience, I believe this product is darn impressive, because not many people are just rushed to want to do this. So we're protecting her ID so that she can walk the street without a whole bunch of people saying, hey, I'd like to try it with you. Anyway, we are inside the studio with Aquia, and Aquia basically has found this product. I'm going to ask her, you know, basically, Aquia, why is it so important for you to come forth and share like your experience with the African Worrior?
Well, really, I thought that it was just my personal experience. So I shared it with a friend after having used it, and I found that the product itself, it wasn't just my own personal experience, it was other personal experiences of others as well. So I realized that it wasn't just a one-off, and it wasn't just a gimmick. It was actually something that works. It's tried and true. And so I felt like it was necessary to be able to market the product by sharing my testimony.
Wow. Now, in terms of the product itself, I must say, initially upon purchasing it, was it thought, you know, was it for the purchase to enhance your male partner's experience and your experience, or, you know, from a male in gestation? Was that the initial look at it?
Sure. The initial look was specifically for male in gestation. It was to see what the product would do for my mate. But having found the benefits of it, I too am finding beneficial, because obviously you're talking about the bedroom, talking about passion and lovemaking, then there are some transferable things that happen. And I'm finding that I'm benefiting from the experience as well on many different levels. In the bedroom and even outside of the bedroom, I have more energy. I'm a little bit more focused when I recognize the day after. There's a noticeable difference in using the product, but I have to say that my greatest reward, if not, is in the bedroom.
Well, that's interesting. Now, I must say, you don't have to mention any other products, but have you tried other products before?
Yes, other natural products. Other natural products. And I had heard of other persons who had tried chemical-induced products, and nothing worked the way in which we found that this worked.
Wow. Now, what made you decide to try it yourself? Like, because, you know, people just don't go ahead and say, oh, you know, the girls usually don't try these things themselves. The women don't usually try these things, even though there are more and more women working on some type of stimulus. But what made you decide to say, hey, let me take a spoonful of that?
Well, you know, you have our energy levels have increased and decreased. We're busy. So we're busy doing a whole lot of nothing, busy doing a whole lot of everything. But when you get to the bedroom, it's almost like, well, I don't have the energy to do that, or it actually affects the blood, and so you're not getting a full performance in the bedroom. It's a hit and miss. We found that with this product, there was no hit and miss, that it actually increased the stimulus of the during the erection was longer, The size was different.
Wow.
There was a lot of different components that caused us to try it again and again. And it is actually a product that we use daily now, not just for the bedroom. It's actually being used as a herbal supplement.
No, you say something once again very interesting about it, which is you use on a daily basis. Now, I myself, I'll speak from, let's just say I bought a power drink or one of the energy drinks. And even though I've just bought it as an energy drink, it's not necessarily Anaconda or one of those type drinks, but it's just a drink. And I could say to myself, like, geez, I didn't take it for this, and I myself during the day, like, okay, let's just get through the day.
Sure.
You're taking it on a regular basis. Now, does that mean that your stimulation is also at a point where it's like, okay, where's my husband or where's my wife?
No, not at all. The product almost works in various different forms. So during the day when you're not active in the bedroom, it's giving you that performance boost through the day. It's giving you energy. It's giving you endurance to get through the day. But when you are in the positions of intimacy, then the product works on a whole nother level as it relates to be able to stimulate on both sides.
Wow. Well, I tell you what, you're definitely one of those people who has felt strong enough that you're gonna help other people. I think one of the things I said, like you had even asked me the question, and I said, well, no, but you said that it pretty much. It's saving marriages.
It's saving marriages. I do actually have friends who are using it that had issues,